Hello, hello, hello. I believe we are online and hopefully working. Hello, Chris Spy. Hello, Cal. Hello, Inferno. Nice to see you all. We're ready to get started with the main season here, and hopefully it will be a good one. To start off here, we're going to take a look at the team lineups, the race calendar, and the rules and regulations so that there's no misunderstandings. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. Hello, Nimizuki. Jessica Antonelli is 5th championship in a row. He's totally not OP. Yeah, Antonelli's not OP at all, Trav. You're correct. Good morning, Bobby. Race double point last race. There's also extra points for pole position and fastest lap. But yeah. Now, seems here at Red Bull, we have Cosby and everyone's favorite Floof. I kid you not. This is actually the picture the game gave me for Floof, and that's the amazing part here. Edster will be taking charge as the team principal. For Mercedes, we have Parker Petrov and Tess Darkcloud here. They're going to try and take back some Mercedes glory. Nimizuki heads the team. Ferrari, we have Rasek and Son Goku, as well as David taking charge as the team principal. McLaren, we have a rookie, Itamana Cole, as well as Let's Go Bowling. Lieutenant Surge is going to be heading off the team as team principal. As Martin, we have Living Duck and Kieran Love, with Fernando Alonso Swift trying to reclaim some honor after going out in F2. For Alpine, they are last season's champions, and Schumacher has switched his name legally to I Hate Alpine, and we also have Matheus Marinho. Oconaldo will be taking charge as team principal. Williams is the newbie team, so to speak. We have Sol Mortel and Bobby Monas, headed off by Luna Drift. Going to be interested to see how they do in the Williams team. The V-Carb, the Racing Bull, or the racing team as I called, is Shaolin Master and Sir Kaiser, headed up by BBL Christie. Cosby has been a little bit worried. He thinks that these guys are going to be a potential championship material. They are two of the highest rated overall, so I can see that happening. Sauber, we have Kyle, WMD, and the Real Max. Lando Norris will be leading them here. We'll see how that goes. And finally for Haas, we have another rookie, Neo Gigi Baba and Inferno Trap here. And they'll be led by Tupac Shakur. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys actually hold off. That's the race calendar. We are starting in Brazil, going to Abu Dhabi and Belgium, Canada, Emilia Romagna, Mexico, Bahrain, before we finish off in China. China is going to be double points, and the weather here is going to be 50-50 rain and 50-50 dry. It's decided by dice roll. Room circulations here. Everyone should be getting the equal amount of CFD time, which is, well, that's the point scheme. But yeah, in the updated one, everyone is getting the same amount of CFD. Every team is going to be equal. You see that I've saved before I fixed the rules, but these are the rules. Here, pole position gives bonus point. There's a fastest lap bonus point, and there's double points for last race here. Engine limits 333. And in terms of the aerodynamic testing scheme, this is actually what we're getting. This is what is set up for the save. I'm looking forward to seeing how this is gonna affect our drivers here, affect everyone really. With that said, we are ready to just jump directly into the season here. With that, we're taking a look at Commentator's Curse. Blue's looking sus, not gonna lie. Blue's always looking sus. I'm currently getting 144p and still lagging, I'm sorry. Not Haas. I do love that. Not Haas being the operative here. I love that, Inferno. So Charles, who is our 11th driver, got knocked out in F2. Wasn't team principal room for him, so we put him in one of the drivers' positions. Beatrice here, who is my second driver, is one of the people who is behind the 2025 DLC. They are going to be the ones heading up the Commentator's Curse this time around. And with that said, every car here has gone through equalization. It's the same as it was during F2. Hopefully this time, the McLaren will not pull any, you know, shenanigans. But every car is equalized at 80%. The only difference here is going to be engines. And as you can see here, the only thing that really should be changing here, unless I mess something up between setting this up and now, should just be, well, what you are seeing. So with that in mind, we are just going to jump straight forward here to Brazil, see how the start of this season goes. Hello, Pocanaldo, how you doing? My internet is currently the equivalent of Lance Stroll driving. So, very, I guess I should say. We are just going to quickly click our way here to Brazil. Imagine Lance Stroll driving being very interesting. By the way, I do have my window open, so if you hear a lot of noises outside, let me know and I'll just close that window. Try and avoid getting a lot of extra noise. Would not be good. Yeah, we are ready here for Sao Paulo. Also, in terms of pit crew here, just reminds me because I'm looking at my own pit crew, I've equalized everyone's pit crew at 80%. So once again, you all have identical pit crews, you have identical staff. The only real difference here should be the drivers and of course the engines. But enough of that, Brazil is around the corner here. Let's see who comes out on top in the first race of the season. I'm at your window. Well, that would be impressive because I do live fairly high up. The new Sauber drivers will have the Binotto curse once again. It is the history of the Sauber. But we're starting off with an interesting one. It's Brazil. And we're having light rain in both quali and in the race itself. That should spice things up a little bit. Hello, Richard. First time catching live. Thanks for teaching me about this game with your videos. No worries. I appreciate that. I'm just happy they've been helpful. I appreciate you dropping by. We're doing something a little bit different today, though. We're basically just going to be witnessing what the AI is doing. I've got actual watchable video quality now. We've heard Brazil, and we're just like, upgrade my plan, get me better quality. It's going to be fun watching Sauber go through hell again. I think Sauber might surprise you, if, in all honesty here. Would not surprise me at all. Never mind, it died again. We've got a little bit too happy and immediately got punished for it. I do realize just now that I did forget one thing. I did forget to swap the leaderboard. I might go ahead and just do that quickly because that'll take like 30 seconds. You'll have to live with a black screen though for a little bit, but it can be done and it would just make it a lot easier to figure out who is doing what. But yeah, let's see what we can do here. Quali is basically going to be one shot here with the rain coming. Question now is going to be who comes out on top. We have the chair here with purple sectors, which is expected. What can the Haas drivers do here? 6 tenths off is not bad. Living Duck is a little bit further down the road. Burner Trap here in 4th. Mourinho in 5th. Dub is at top, along with Bowling and Floof. Petrov starts off pretty poor here, to be fair. Horsby now, the fastest one in the Red Bull. Goku up into 5th. Who are in danger? It's Petrov, it's Max, the real Max. Living Duck, Trap, and Monas here. 400s of safety. And I think with the rain coming... I was about to say, I think with the rain coming, we're not getting another run. Look at this. Look at this pitiful rain. It basically is nothing. So maybe, just maybe, there will be a chance for improvements. It is buffering like crazy. Well, I'm trying to look at my stats on my end here, and from my side, I'm not dropping any frames. I'm not having any rendering lags. I think, unfortunately, it's just internet being a little bit spotty. Unfortunately. Commiserations to anyone in Salva. You can have a tough year. Lando dropping by. Hello. I'm now a robot. Hopefully, I'm only a robot for you. Does Floof have Floof? Yeah, this is Floof. Right here, Nick. Hello, Taz. Salva P4 and P20. I remember this happening somewhere in another universe. Damn. But yeah, we're having some torrential downfall. I'm going to be very surprised if this goes anywhere close to actual wets. I'll try and get the sectors up here so we can see if anyone actually is improving. But with a little bit of water on track, I don't expect there to be any improvements. We shall see. 6 minutes left now. Water is still going up. This is going to be pretty close if anyone is going to get a good second run in. Petrov goes out first. That is not what you needed right there. Still going to be about 50 millimeters as you get started here. Yellow in the first sector. That's not good enough. That is not good enough, Petrov. It is a green in the second sector, however, and the third one, yellow, moves up to 17. It's still out, but that gives hope to the guys that did, that do find themselves in danger here, as Max is trying to improve. 2 green sectors gives hope. Mourinho now in danger. Max goes up to 6th. That is a massive improvement. And that definitely does mean that we could see some of the guys here that are in danger finding their way out of that danger. Not for Monas, though. What can Inferno Trap do? Not enough. Mourinho, not enough. Petro, Monas, Trap, and Living Dark. All of them are out. Only one driver found himself out of danger. And that was the Sauber, the cursed one, according to you guys. And one of the current champions, current constructed champions, that is out in Q1. Petrol, give me petrol. That is unfortunate, to be fair. But yeah, Q1 in Mourinho, Petrov, Monas, Living Duck, and Inferno Trap out. No Sauber yet. Kaiser survives by just 4 thousandths of a second. 14th and 15th had the same time here as well. There's a pretty close initial qualifier run here. That should make things a little bit spicier. Now the question is, do I just take a quick 1-minute break and change the UI so we can get a little bit more information? I think it's going to help most people here because I can't keep an eye on everyone at the same time. So I'm just going to save here, or we'll just use the quick save. And I'm just going to be really quickly changing the files. So we do get extended UI. You will be left in the dark for just a little bit. It's actually an incredible easy fix, all things considered. So just give me a second and get it sorted. I don't want to do it while the game is running because I haven't tried it. And worst case scenario, the game is going to commit seppuku. Or, you know, I'll corrupt some file that I shouldn't. Which arguably is worse. But right now, there we go. Extended UI has been installed, just like that. We are restarting the game. I'm going to do you guys a favor here and mute the game so you don't go deaf. Schedule the talk. sorry. Supposed to be living up to his stance. We shall see. Basically, when you fire up F1 Manager Inferno, the initial sound is pretty loud compared to the rest of the game. So usually when I've had to do these sort of fixes during stream or my game has crashed or something like that, people have not been very happy with me not muting. The dark is fine, Salva is scary. Okay, let's see if I did this correctly. We are ready now to go into Q2. I wanted to go there, and there we go. We now have the big screen, the big sector times and everything to help us, help everyone have a little bit of a better time paying attention to their driver. This is basically going to be another one-lap shootout. So it's going to be very curious to see how this one is going to go. Am I going to be a problem? Honestly, Dub TTB here, just being a 10th off, is not bad. Goku currently the slowest one through Sector 1. Bowling follows that exact same time of Goku. They're currently the ones in danger. Dub. Still about a couple of tenths up. Less than a tenth ahead of Tazza. What can Goku do? In third. 10th down. Gigi Baba in 5th. Oh, a lot of changes here. Master. Williams driver. I'm still stuck. Max. Improvements all around. Hate Alphine is currently in danger. But yeah, what is the weather like here? Are we gonna have... Well, we could have a redemption, but you're gonna be quick. Currently, Nitama Cole, Baba, Bowling, Goku, Hyde, Alphine, and Taz in danger here as we get ready to get through Q2. Blue finds himself in 9th and is basically 500s away from Doom here. We have a yellow flag, the first one of the session here from Cosby.
So let's follow the action going into turn 12.
If you all remember, last time we set a record, it took less than a minute of qualifying before we had a red flag. And Cosby this time is doing a little bit of digging, a little bit of cutting the grass, as they say. Which, to be fair, will not really matter much. The track is 48 degrees, so that is a problem. That is a bit of an issue. Cosby is pretty much a quality monster at his current stats. Only time will tell if his control will be screwing him over as he locks up. That is timely, Mitsuki. Rest in peace, teammate. Damn. We'll have to see though here. The rain is going up. I think unfortunately there will be no rail improvements here for the McLaren drivers, for Baba, for Goku, and for our newly renamed showmarker. Taz, unfortunately, also is going to be out here if things stand as they are. And with the weather missing and the rain only going up, I think we have no way to save any of you, unfortunately. Rasik survives by 400s. Mars didn't do a good enough job, so Cosby had to go and fix it. That's more like half-ass, damned. Now I'm curious here. The rain is going to slowly improve.
And that should be the green light now.
Which means this should be another one-shot quali. And Cosby is going out first here. Cosby going to get a clean run. And Floof is the last one out with potentially an even cleaner run here. Both are Red Bull setting himself up for potential victory here. Oh well, I'm starting 10th. Yeah, that is a little bit unfortunate as Mercedes is not winning. No, they have not had a great start. That is fair. So how about double Q3? Why couldn't this happen for me? Tyser currently with the quickest first sector, 18.6. Kieran here also, 18.6. They're up a 10 on virtually everyone at the moment. 33.5 for Max, a new mid purple sector for the middle. And 108.135 is the time to beat. Can Max do it? Max beats that time easily. What can Master do here? Kaiser beats that time. 1-2 right now for the weak carbs. Kieran up into 5th. What can the other... Oh, 2nd there for Sauber. 2nd and 4th for the Saubers. Can Floof improve up into 4th, which is Sauber down into 5th here. Thoracic. Have I written your name wrong? Or am I misremembering who the Williams driver is? Give me a second here to go through my notes, if you will. I have a feeling I might have written the Williams driver wrong here. It's Mortel, of course. It is correct. Verb, Cosby, Max, Floof, Master, Dub. Then we have Kaiser. And the top 4 here, within a tenth. The top 7, within 1.5 tenths. I'd say that is pretty close, all things considered. It is qualifying for the first race, is it? Is this indeed? The sudden burst of pace is 100% because I'm the team principal. Unfortunately, I think that sells it. It's expected to get just weather as we go. So I don't think we're going to see any improvements here. I think the top 10 here have been kind of set in stone. We can already see they are 3 to 4 tenths slower than the initial lap times. So that is the top 10 here already sorted. Hello, Maxi. If you find yourself in 4th at the moment, Cosby in 6th. Kaiser can, if he has a good start here, do something good. So Kaiser is the highest overrated driver currently in the randomization game here. But Kaiser has 2 glaring weaknesses. He has poor reactions and he has poor overtaking. Both of those means that he gets easily stuck in the DRS trains, and we saw that in F2. However, starting first is one good way to overcome that weakness if the start is good. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at light rain lasting the entire race with potential dry moment at the end. That is kind of good for Kaiser, all things considered. But I'm hoping we're going to get some spicy moments here. There are also a lot of drivers that has low control. That could definitely cause some mayhem here. Let's see what Brazil has to offer.
Long way back to 21st, getting anything out of this.
Kaiser was just breezing through in order to perform well during F1. That would be a good strategy, yeah.
And it's lights out. And
Lights out, away we go. Kaiser, decent start. Good start here for Master 2. We could be seeing a V-carb 1-2 on the first lap if they can stick to position. And right now, it definitely looks like that is happening. 3 and 4 here for the Saubers, although Floof goes up to 4th again. Cosby in 6th. Hotel in 7th. Love in 8th. Rassick and Tess are squabbling, and potentially here the slower Aston could give Tess that 9th place back, and it does. Rassick in 10th, Goku in 11th, Hyde Alpine 12th, Baba in 13th, Bowling 14th, Mourinho 15th, Cole in 16th, Monas, Petrov, Inferno Trap, and we have a yellow flag immediately here. We have a safety car immediately as Dub and Master has done something. Let me just take a chance here to retire. First lap mayhem in Brazil. And Dub and Master find themselves on the side of the road here. What exactly has happened? That did not take long. Crash involving multiple cars here. Shaolin Master, did you lock up and take out the Sauber here? Did in fact do just that. Oh, that is a bad crash for Sauber. That is potentially a gearbox gone already. I love that the second Floof said, I just need to say this. Floof literally said, Brazil is the holy ground. I'm destined to do well here. And he goes up to 2nd place because the 2 cars in front of him crashed and DNF'd.
So, box.
I think we need to send Floof to the...
Sorry.
What in tarnation? What is Ferrari doing? Did Goku pick up damage? Did Goku do anything with his tires? Or what is going on here? I need to check this out. I need to go into lap history. I need to check. No. Why in God's green name did they pit the Ferrari? You pitted to save 1% tire and lost 10 positions in the attempt? This is some real Ferrari strategy right here. Not only do we have an immediate safety car, but the Ferrari strategy team shows himself from their best side immediately. Must be the water indeed, Inferno. I I wish I could say that I had handled this, but this is just a game being stupid. What do you mean you're so far behind, Floof? You're running in second at the moment. Ty was the one that got, you know, destroyed by Ferrari strategy. You know the Ferrari drive. I don't know what to say. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. This one was Floof in the Red Bull since the Alpine team won Constructors last year and had to redo this season in the Alpine, basically. So that is why. But yeah, race restart here. Everyone is kind of just doing their own thing. The Ferrari did a Ferrari strat here. I don't even know what to say to that. Kaiser now is pulling away pretty massively. 2 seconds up the road while Max and Floof are squabbling. And we have another yellow flag here. That's Cosby. As Numitsuki said, Cosby is either going to win everything or gonna get screwed over by low control. And it immediately happened. Low control.
In the end, just a helpless passenger.
Cosby spins out from the top 5, if I'm not mistaken, all the way down into 18th, losing 10% of his tire compared to the cars around him. I'm just going to skip this racing time. To be fair, I would do the same. I would definitely do the same. I'm gonna sue Floof for the 3rd time already. Well, currently Floof is falling down the order, so you might not need to sue him. He might do it to himself. Kaiser has been caught up again, and it's generally what you see on a lot of restarts. The lead car pulling 2-3 seconds, and then immediately getting caught because, well, might as well... Honestly, we're going to do a little bit of a side project and just explain this. So, in most games, you'll be seeing the lead car pull 2, 3, maybe even 4 seconds ahead. And the reason why this is AI consideration with the ERS. So, Kaiser, as the lead car, does not need to consider using ERS for attacking. He just needs to use ERS for pushing. So, the lead car will use his ERS a lot more than the car in second and the car in third. And that leads to over 2 laps. Oh, Kaiser's pulled a 3-second gap, but he's also used his entire battery, while Maxi and Floofy has used maybe half of theirs because they need to save some to attack and defend. As Kaiser starts to recharge, they catch him again. And that's basically what has happened here, and that's what you'll be seeing a lot of in your races. That the reason why the lead car can create a gap is because, well, they use more ERS than cars behind. And it's kind of an interesting thing, really. Floof is in third, rigged. I am currently 3 minutes and 30 seconds behind alive. Okay, that is unfortunate, Floof. New season, new season, same Sauber. One driver getting absolutely shafted, other doing well for now. We'll have to see what the rookie can do here. Rookie might actually take the lead. We have a rookie here taking the lead in the 11th lap of the race. We also have Alpine here, up in 7th. It might be a YouTube problem, potentially, because as I said, I don't see any issues from my side. So I don't know what is going on. Yeah, currently we're just speeding things up a little bit. We can see the top 4 here, top 5 breaking free a little bit. 3 seconds now down to 6th. And that isn't really that unexpected here. It is Priscilla, however. Cosby here needs another cameo.
Whoa, and around they spin. And there's not much they can do about that now.
Would streaming Discord fix the buffering L? I unfortunately don't think so, Nimitsuki. I think it's just unfortunate, unstable Australian internet right now. If the stream is okay for others here. At least the Southers won't have to deal with the first double stack this race. Well, Master's getting a penalty for next race. That could make things interesting there. And Cosby, well, Cosby's already half a second off the rest. Cosby might end up getting lapped in his first race if he is not careful. already destroyed these inters, but interestingly enough, Cole has actually destroyed his inters more. So there are cars out here going very aggressively right now, all things considered. Kaiser, struggling. It's kind of what Kaiser is weak at, reactions and overtaking. It just makes him fall down the order, even though he does have some very, very good pace. Those weaknesses are kind of a problem. Let's just put it like that. I do also live in Australia. Yeah, I would assume so, Richard. That's kind of what I assumed since you both were having problems. Oh, we have Gigi Baba here, following Cosby's instructions and doing a spin to win. I love that we got just a look there of the stewards more so than anything else. Baba now pits, and could this be good? I don't think so. I think the AI is going to take good enough care of these tires, but undercutting could be possible. It's still 20% drivable tire on most of these guys. Tez being currently the tire whisperer with tire advantage. Doesn't really translate well on the inters, however, and yeah. Let's be perfectly honest here, you had a 2% tire advantage. That doesn't really change much. Mortel and Love here, both coming into the pits. Rasek with fastest lap. Clean stop from the Williams. Did get held up, however, by the Aston. And that is just the unfortunate reality of Pitbox and F1 Manager. They suck. They need too much of a gap to release a car. Question now is, can Kieran do any sort of undercutting? I don't think so personally, but we shall see. Tess now, with the best tires, comes into the pits. Questionable AI being questionable. Hello, thank you, Ty. Appreciate it. I'm sorry that your AI hates your tires. I appreciate your sticker of sadness and disappointment. Thank you very much. Maintenance is fine. It might be either YouTube or a routing issue. I could think so, yeah. Most likely. I'm glad you appreciate the concept, Richard. Maybe I'm undercutting someone? You could be. Max now comes in. Isa comes in. Goku comes in for the second stop here. Clean stop for both of them. What about the Ferrari crew? At least they have a clean stop. I know there's not a lot of solace, but it's the only solace you have right now. And with that, Kieran now done a little bit of jumping up ahead. And the Aston crew here do some magic. 17 seconds up to the lead here. Bloof now is currently dropping backwards because of a refusal to pit. Onas and Living Duck, both of them do come in now. And it is a bit of a slow stop here for Duck. It's a really, really slow stop there for Duck. Our first pit stop issue. That is unfortunate. Gigi Baba now up ahead. But yeah, Kieran, so far, has been the big winner. Maxi and Mortel, though, is not going to let him go. Neither is Kaiser. Kieran right now just has to keep these three behind. That's going to be tough. Floof now comes to the pits. Let's see how much he's lost. Clean stop. Cole comes in. Crap comes in. Can they do clean stops as well? Seems like it. And for Floof here, the positions lost are plentiful. Down now from 1st to 6th after the pit stops. That is definitely not what Floof were looking for. But on the plus side, this pace, Goku might catch him. To be fair, there's 7 seconds between them, but get the idea. Cosby now finally gets their pit stop done. And it's getting close to that getting lapped here, unfortunately. How long is Alpine going to stay out? How is long... Both the Alpines are still staying out, which kind of puts them in a dangerous spot here. We could see some punctures maybe again. That would be fun in its own right. Oh, we have a virtual safety car. Alpine lives up to the Alpine. Safety car has been deployed. but it's a little bit too late. Crash involving multiple vehicles here. Parker has had enough of last year's champion and sends him to the Shadow Realm and survives somewhat.
While all that was happening, the crew in the garage could do nothing but watch on.
Petrov is planning to get their title back by taking out the current reigning champions of Mourinho and Hyde Alpine. Question is going to be, did Petrov damage their tires? I don't think so, but they did get a safety car. Unfortunately, I don't think that safety car is going to help them much because it's still 21 seconds. And let's put it this way. It's going to put them down into 12th, 13th if they do pit with that. And the rest here is going to also put them closer to 10th and the top 5. But they are coming into pit here. Is anyone who has already pitted going to take the chance to jump into the pits? It's going to be the question here. Same old Petrov always cheating? When I said Mercury... Oh, we have actually... Darkness, my old friend. Love. Motel, Kaiser, all comes in with 90% tires. We could see some undercutting here. Max stays out. It's going to take the lead. As stays out. What about Floof? Floof stays out. Goku. Are you going to get some positions back here by staying out? You are indeed. William stays out. Most of them do stay out here. Rasek now. First car coming down the pit lane. Petrov gets a penalty that is getting served, I do believe, right now. Rasek comes out in 4th here. Pit stop issue for Love. That's not having a good time. The Alpine here keeps 5th place. Bowling in 6th. Goku up into 7th. Jonas in 8th. Cole in 9th. Trap in 10th. Baba not having a good one here. Cosby will be able to catch up to the back of the grid. This is a weird one though. Floof did get saved. Yes. Maxi now find himself in 1-2. I don't know what to make about this one. Hello Rico. Hello David, how you doing? Well, Floof, you're going to take basically the championship then at the halfway point. We know how your curse works. You are in charge of Ferrari, David, as the team principal for this one. Have you screwed yet again this time? Kind of recovered somewhat, I'm happy to be honest. Got screwed, then you recovered. Peak Ferrari strategy. This is a long safety car. This seems typical for any race with rain. True. How is the restart going to go here? Are we going to have another DNF? Seems like the first corner went nicely here. Crosby has improved 1 position. Floof has improved 1 position. And Baba locks up into turn 3 here.
Things were all right here.
Is Cosby gonna just survive, just barely here?
What caused that, I wonder?
Did you just lock up in basically the middle of a straight there, Baba? That's interesting, I will say. Yeah, the race here has gotten back underway. Let's see how long we can keep going this time. 100 defending clearly didn't work for him. No. Baba has 100 defending. We'll have to see how the wall this time around is going to perform. As both Floof and Max are getting away from the rest here. Taz doing a little bit of a job holding everyone else up. But honestly, we should be seeing the same here from the top 2. As Floof is going to try and get that move done, taking the lead again. Albert says no, however, and just yeets away, allowing the others to catch up a bit. I'm curious how this one is going to end, to be fair. Locking up in a straight requires more skill than actually locking up in a corner. That is true.
And nearly, oh, just running
GT
wide.
Baba right now is a danger. Locking up wise so far. And in prime position here to take out both Love and Cosby. The Astons here having a very bad start to this race weekend by having both of them get slow pit stops. Within China type defending. Well, we shall see. Max is doing a good job of defending right now. On worst tires, allowing the grid to kind of bunch up again. Rasek has caught up to them, however, so we'll have to see what he does. But for now, we're just going to speed along a little bit. I think also we are getting to a point right now where we are going to get potentially some dry racing towards the end. That could be very interesting. As Alpine, they are catching, and everyone is basically just one big DRS train again. Although, no rain in the DRS, you get my meaning. They're all very close to each other. Red Bull, please, I'm beating my teammate. Please, Red Bull, save me. You pranked the Red Bull in the Hask Inferno. I promise I won't cut in Q1 again. Damn. Is that the Red Bull chant? Please, please, Marco. Please not Marco. I promise I will not go out in Q1 again. I will win. But yeah, Max here doing the job Floof wishes he could. And right now, Rasek might get the overtake done. Didn't get it done there. In terms of tires, everyone very similar here. And some cars even getting past what Goku has. We picked up some damage here from the Haas. I assume it is underfloor. I don't see any damage on that front wing. And we didn't get an announcement, so it should be underfloor damage we're seeing. Hello, Tix. Why is Floof in a Red Bull? Because last season, we had two drivers win in the Alpine. They took the Constructors' Championship. So, they get a chance to defend their Constructors' Championship in Alpine, which means that Alpine is full, and thus Floof is barred from driving for them, basically. That is why Floof finds himself in the Red Bull and not in the Alpine. So next season, will I be driving again? Yeah, David, you'll be driving again. Because the way things turn out with the penalties last time around, you unfortunately finished 10th, and you need to finish 9th to be part of, well, this weekend. But next weekend, or maybe in 2 weeks' time, we'll have to see. I don't know if I'll have time for this next weekend. We'll be setting up another tourney, and when we do that, everyone will get a chance to participate again. I think a certain driver in Alpine did not want to stay there. What do you mean? There's no reason why the Alpine driver, formerly known as Showmarker, is named I Hate Alpine this time around. No correlation to anything, really. But yeah, we did kind of force him to stay there. It was consensual, of course. He really would love it, Alpine. That's why he changed his name. But yeah, if you... Oh, we see a Floof falling down the order. Floof has spun.
So let's take a look at the replay. All good at this point. Round they spin.
Floof has spun out of the lead here, and it's now down in 15. That is harsh, and a move learned from his teammate. Right now, Living Duck is all over the defense merchant here. Not a good start to his challenge this time around. Hello, Tix. I'm still Floof's manager, right? I think they elected Edster as team principal for F1. I'm sorry. So, I guess you're assistant manager or something? Yeah, Edster is the head of Aero at least, or team principal. I guess you can be assisting team principal. For Floof indeed, yes. Salvin masterclass with the rookie incoming. Come on, Razak, overtake. Love to see what it can do here. In terms of the weather, I don't think they're going to survive till the dry period. It's still going to be raining for another 16 minutes here. So this could get very, very interesting very, very quickly. Oh. We see a bowling ball locking up.
Now. Around turn 3.
Bowling had a chance here to live up to his name and assassinate some other drivers here. Doesn't lose out too badly, I say. Just down into 10th. But that puts them in a precarious position regarding the tires, and Taz and Goku are kind of in a similar position here, particularly considering the fact that it is very likely going to dry up at one point. Goku now, fighting Taz, and they are losing to the top 3 as a result there. Max is living up to the hype, I guess. The real Max is actually kind of sour right now. Which is kind of nuts, all things considered. Gap is starting to be created. Monas and Goku fighting for 5th and 6th here right now, getting a little bit left behind. But all in all, it is still pretty close, except for... Oh, Bowling here does elect to pit again. I assume those are a fresh set of inters. They are. And in 10 minutes, we're getting cloudy. Can you guys hold on for another 10 laps? Or will you suffer the same fate of Bowling here of needing to pit? Bono is worried about their tires. And yes, 32% is not good. Not the only one though. We even have Mono say on 30% tires, Tess on 34. We're getting to a point right now where whoever can make these tires survive, very likely going to get a good result this race. We'll have to see how Bowling does though on those fresh ones. What kind of lap times can you expect if you do actually end up pitting here? Bowling has already caught up to GT Baba and is basically losing a little bit of time and getting stuck behind. But we shall see. Monas could be our first victim here of a puncture. 15-6 for Bowling because they can't overtake, which makes sense. But even then, they're still a couple of seconds, 2-3 seconds quicker than everyone else. In 10 laps, they can definitely make up a pit stop. So it could actually be a good idea for Monas, good idea for Trap to just bite the bullet here, pit, and get it out of the way. Because right now, we're getting some reminders of last time around as we are heading to a 20% tire. Very close right now. Puncture territory, here we come. Gonna start drying up in about 5 to 10 minutes. Mona stays out, 20%. Track condition has changed to dry, folks. DRS has been enabled. This is when the fun begins. And there we go. First puncture. First race. Williams. Holding up their teammate. We have more candidates for a puncture within just a lap or two. Are we going to see more people get in trouble because they run out of tires? Not gonna lie, not having a driver in the race is a lot more relaxing. I can imagine it would be a lot more relaxing, but currently I don't think anyone is really relaxing as the majority of cars here now are under 30%, and Inferno is getting close to that scary 20% here, as we see a medium tire going on the Williams here. That is really early to put it on though. They're still going to be slow for a few laps, probably quicker than doing an extra pit stop. We'll have to see though, because it's still going to be raining for another 3 minutes before it really starts drying. Right now the water level is actually going up. Okay, Inferno, you're staying out one more lap here, 90% tires. This did not work out for Monas and the Williams. Are you going to fare any better? This could be when the race gets decided for the Haas driver. In the same corner. Puncture. Tragedy unfolds. Petrov, are you going to pick up puncture here? I believe you did the last time too we played Brazil. Are we going to get another puncture from the Mercedes driver around here? 20% now. Hits are not on the menu, as it turns out. That is scary. Kaiser in danger. Mortel getting close to being in danger. Is the third or fourth corner, depending on how you look at it here. Gonna claim another victim. It does! Petrov has a puncture now. Kaiser, Mortel, both of them are in danger. Can they survive till the end? Well, the end. There's probably going to be more laps here. It's still 1 minute until it starts drying. But we are getting that. Petrov now forced down the order here. Holding up bowling even. Kaiser has done a good job surviving so far. We see Alpine and Rasa coming in. Hospi comes in. Is Kaiser going to come in? Kaiser comes in to keep himself safe. Mortel stays out for another lap. This could get very, very interesting very, very quickly. And I believe I see medium tires on most of the cars here in the pit lane. And that seems to be the case. Red Bull with a soft tire for Floof. Soft tire for Petrov. Mortel has picked up a puncture now. And it's going to be holding up other cars, allowing the cars now on fresh tires to get a little bit of an advantage built. Rasik 2 on a soft tire here. That's going to spice things up, as everyone should now be coming into pit lane. Maxi here. Can they retain the lead? Clean stop at least. Clean stop for Taz. Cola for Goku. Where is everyone going to line up after this first set of pit stops here? Maxi. Those are the two rivals. Still comes out first. Rasik in second. Alpine in third. Taz in fourth. Goku fifth. Cosby up into sixth now, having done a little bit of a recovery drive. Cole in 7th, Kaiser 8th, we have Floof in 9th, then we have Kieran Love, Living Duck, Bowling, Baba, Petrov, Trap, and Mortel being the last car out of the pits, and still sparking. They do not have a puncture, however, so I would not worry too much. 15 laps to go here. We see Rasek take the lead. Going to be a fight between these three, most likely for the win here. Rasek will have the advantage this early on because of soft tire. But 13 laps are going to take their toll, and he's going to have a little bit of trouble to contend with, I think. I went to the washroom and see my driving P14 from P2. How? The magic of a puncture, I believe. If you've fallen from P2 to P14. Sauber has won this race. We will have to see, though. Could still change. A fast normal pit stop? What is that? Yeah, those don't exist, but yeah. Currently, Rasik is burning these softs. Probably a little bit too quick trying to keep hold of that first place. That is helping Alpine and Max here quite a bit because they can now just DRS and build a gap down to Taz and Cosby. That is definitely working out in their advantage. Goku is actually managing their tires for once here. At least it seems like it. Could potentially get a good result here well, due to that, but we'll have to wait and see. Still 10 laps to go here. Bowling sets fastest lap in 11th place. Fighting Kieran for and place here in that final point scoring position. So far, been a pretty interesting opener here, I dare say. This whole season has been miserable. What do you mean this whole season? It's just started, Ty. You're running in 6th. 5th now. It's not as bad as you could expect. I mean, you guys are most likely going to catch Taz by the end of this. I would think. Yeah, 10 laps to go here. There isn't really too much going on. The top two are kind of leaving the Alpine behind here. Potentially. Let's see how that plays out. And with a lot of cars running in trios here, like the top 3, top 6, or top 7 really, we could see some lockups for some mayhem. I need everyone except me to suddenly explode. Yeah, that would be a little bit too much to wish for, I think. The Williams team here has had a bad start. The Taz team here has a bad start, and of course, guys that crashed out aren't much happier. Cosby crash. Damn. Cosby is very likely to crash though. Has loads of pace. Low control, basically. I need some me versus Poker versus Edson type fight to start. Max now has created a gap to Alpine, to Razak. And we could see a Sauber take a win here in the first race of the season. Although, if the two behind DRS swap enough, they might catch him. We could still see some changes to the order here. S just trying to survive in 4th place with Cosby and Goku trying to find a rookie here in the McLaren, Cole, who's going to come out on top in their fight. And the man who led this race for most of it is now fighting for just a singular point. This season just isn't the same without the Chow. Oh, that's funny. The moment I no longer drive and instead become the TP, the car decides to have some W11 pain. The real Max here living up to the name. Alpine and Ferrari are still squabbling for that 2nd place. The more they squabble, the happier Sauber becomes. Taz has been caught up now by Cosby, by Cole. Goku, unfortunately, has been left a little bit behind here. I need them to squabble some more to get into this fight. A lot of squabbling is happening. Cole up into 5th behind Taz. Goku now has connected to the train. Aaron and Floof is the other fight. 3 laps to go. Me and Poco have been wrong. Lando Norris and Poco not happy with the Sauber last time around. Interestingly enough, it should be the exact same car as you guys had last time around. So maybe the Sauber TP is just better this time around. I don't know. Who did I even appoint? The funny thing is, Lando, you're actually a Sauber TP. You learned from your mistakes last time around and made a better car, I guess. Funnily enough, but yeah, Rasika now is still just finding the Alpine. Tires are becoming more and more of an issue, however, and Tess is kind of feeling that same problem. Tess is kind of struggling at the moment. 40% left. I don't think we're seeing a Razak win here. Just a little bit too much to ask for. The tires are a problem. Ferrari's strategy is a bit of a problem here. They should have swapped around maybe the tire choices for the cars, and it would have been looking a lot more promising. Prime Blue fashion, I'm just supporting my team. Maxi here trying to jinx himself by saying, hopefully I don't spin on the last lap. Could still happen. Cosby now, side by side with Goku. Wins out in this exchange, but there's more of them coming. What can Cole do to Taz? Final lap is underway now. We have Maxi leading, ahead of Alpine, Razak, Taz, Cole, Cosby. Goku now takes the lead ahead of Cosby. Kaiser, Floof, and Karen. And I believe there was even a change up front here. Can Razak get that 2nd place back with the help of DRS? No, just didn't have the guts there to go deep on the brakes. And Alpine keeps that 2nd place going. Cole still keeps their place. Floof here drops down to 10th. Is Razak going to be able to get something back here on the final stretch? Or it's just going to be a little bit too little. Max now, the rookie in the first race, might claim victory, which is rather impressive. Congratulations. Razak ends up 3rd, Alpine 3rd. Cole gets 4th place ahead of Taz. What can Cosby do? 6, Goku 7, Kaiser in 8, Karen in 9. Believe couldn't get that position back. And with that, our first set of point scores has been decided. Bowling, Living Duck, Gigi Baba, Petrov, Trap, Hotel, and Monads, unfortunately, did not have a good day here. And neither did Mourinho, Dub, or Master as they DNF'd. Do I celebrate or cry in the Saber one? You're TP, Lando. You're part of it. You should be celebrating.
You just have to accept that it's not going to be
I
your
might have
race.
made my team a little bit too much blue here, is what I'm seeing. But yeah. Cole improves 11 places to finish 4th. Rasik 6, 9 for 8 Alpine here. And Max takes the win. And I'm sorry, but this is who the game chose for you. Funnily enough. But yeah. Who had the worst race here? Mortel, most likely. If, you know, none of the guys who crashed out. I'll see what sort of damage befell them. Just been blinded from the blue color. But yeah. Drivers then. We have Real Max taking the fastest lap point here. It's going to be helpful. And in the constructors, we now have Sauber taking the lead ahead of Ferrari, ahead of Alpine, then McLaren. With Haas and Williams, you have to score any points. What is the driver picture? It's what the game chose for you. Basically, the 2025 DLC has some new driver pictures, and if you get one of them, well, you get one of them. Let's just put it like that. The best example here being Floof. I am not guilty of any crime. If you want to blame anyone, blame the guys who made the 2025 DLC. But yeah, a good first race here. Let's see what the second race has to offer. Let us see how things go at Abu Dhabi. What does mine look like? Last time I was pretty good looking. We can take a look, Taz. Floof has been absolutely shafted by profile pictures, so no problem with one driver. To be fair, Floof's response when I asked him if he was okay, because I did ask him if he was okay, was just straight up that his response was just straight up the he just said okay. It was just, he was disappointed that he had less hair than he had last time. Floof looks like he should be at the pub watching football. Not in the Red Bull. But yeah, in terms of drivers here, I believe we had a question about looks from Tez. Where's the other Mercedes driver? That's one. There you are. I'm just blind. But yeah. We'll get a better picture. We'll get a closer look once we get through the next race, I guess. Last race, we'll have double points tie, yes. That's what Alpine does to you. Well, Floof wasn't even part of Alpine in this case. So we shall see. But yeah, we are ready now. Abu Dhabi. Who is going to come out on top here? Chicken Chocky with flint and steel.
Welcome along.
Pretty sure Taz profile is Nina. Kidman? Could be. Did I just simulate qualifying? I think I didn't, but I might have clicked the wrong button. I think we're safe though. Nope. Abu Dhabi is unsurprisingly going to be dry. So, kind of wish this one was raining instead of Brazil. But the random roll that I used did not say so. Did not want that. Let's give Virtus here a chance to shine. Let's see. Where does everyone stack up on the first qualifying run? How far are you behind? Actually had a pretty bad first run here. It's over a second behind his teammate.
You can come to mode out.
Question here is, has the AI done something stupid? We'll have to see once all the qualifying runs are done. But judging by the spread here, I think not. I think just traffic being an issue is the big one here, with bowling actually running wide in quali. Still, we have cars that have yet to set lap times, and they're doing that just now. This is kind of a dangerous timing to do this, Petrov, Tess, Baba, because you'll have a very short period of time to get back to the pits and go around again. Living dangerously, I see. What can Tess do here? Up into third. Okay. Or that's second. That's not bad. Currently, both McLarens at risk. We have last time's race winner at risk. We've seen this one before. Hotel and Moreno also at risk here. Merc, please get into Q3. Well, currently one Merc is in danger and on an in-lap. We're also seeing some improvement here from the Williams. From the Alpine, both of them improving very similarly right now. Is it going to be enough to put the other Alpine and Petrov in danger? Not from Mortel, but Moreno goes up into third. And yeah, Mortel now just straight up out. Can't really improve, doesn't have time for it. Cole is also a little bit in danger here, I think. Is there any improvement? Up into fifth. What this tells me is that we could get a huge shift here in where drivers are finishing pretty quickly. And that is always fun. Yeah, do we have anyone on a fast lap here? Floof, trying to improve. Get away from the danger zone. I'll do that, Tess. I've given them an even more thorough "you shall not upgrade" treatment this time around, however. So if they do, then there's something with the difficult settings. Oh, Floof, that is not a good Floofing moment. Floof with a lockup as the commentator was watching and cursing him. Floof now needs to have no more than just 3 cars below him improve. Rasek, however, is the first one going around at the moment, which is, I think, going to be a bit of an improvement. 1 strike for the Floof. 2 more and he will be in danger. What can Max do? Last time's race winner here. On a fast lap, about to get absolutely blocked by the Haas. 34.1. That is 2-3 tenths slower than most other cars. That is bad. It's going to be enough here that they do get knocked out. Still in that danger zone. Last time race winner, held up in quali, out. Similarly to Mortel here. Cosby did not actually improve, keeping Floof safe. Bowling with a 17.7 in the first sector is in a good spot here, but the Haas kind of holding him up. Although I think both of them are on a fast lap, so that could put the Haas in danger. Is it Gigi Baba? It is. Bowling and Gigi Baba are currently screwing each other over. The absolute scenes. They are overtaking each other and screwing each other over here. Bowling improves, however. Gigi Baba does not. And that is actually it. Both Cosby and Floof survive when they really shouldn't. And Petrov, unfortunately, does not have a chance to improve here. That is Q1 over and done with. Like the illegal McLaren? Yeah, we'll take a look before the third race, and I'll adjust the cars if need be. Hopefully. But yeah, Gigi Baba, Ayad Alpine, Parker Petrov, Max, and Model out in Q1 here. F1, get on this.
Okay, that's the green light now.
Okay. Attack Q2, let's go. Let's see how the, well, banker laps here go for everyone.
Mode, and this is to help with the fuel.
Max on in the same place as Bortoletto. We have an Alpine crash.
So watch for debris.
Now,
Mourinho has
see
crashed
what
here on turn
happened.
5,
Right, we're down at turn 5.
but he did in fact live.
And oh, there's contact with the barrier.
I think he might have survived without rear wing damage, and that would be the most important one here. He did. Did actually survive without rear wing damage. That's actually nuts. Question. The thing is also it's early enough that they can recover. As silly as that sounds. Question is it just front wing or is it something else that would be a problem here? And so we have currently done basically bank laps. Monas, Cosby, Goku, Master, Living Duck, and Mourinho are the cars currently in danger, as Cole is actually doing the improvement run early. Has had good pace so far. It's going to be good enough to improve. Improves up into 4th place, putting Razek now in danger. Monas is on a pretty similar path in terms of time. Let's see Razek getting dropped down right now. That is indeed what happens. Bowling now in danger. Lee is also currently improving. Never mind, Lee is no longer improving. Lee now will be finding himself in, or Love, sorry. Love will be finding himself in danger as they have locked up into the corner.
Well, you could see the lockup, but that's just
The commentator's curse coming out swinging here today, and I love it. Also now trying to get out of the drop zone. Are they going to be able to do so? Yellow middle sector, but I believe that is still an okay time. Gonna be good enough here. It is, up into 4th. Bowling now in danger. Inferno Trap is trying to improve, but has already lost half a second in that first sector. That's not what they needed. Are you gonna be able to get out of trouble here? No improvement. What about the Ferrari driver? Proves up until 9th. Still going to be in a little bit of a troublesome position. Although Mourinho here is on an outlap. Is this suspension damage then? Should be major suspension damage most likely. That's going to be hard then for the Alpine driver to improve. What can we see here from Living Duck? 17.8 is a very good first sector. 17.7 from Cosby here. Razek is out. Did not get over the line in time, if I'm not mistaken. Already 2-3 tenths down there for the Alpine. Most likely not going to be able to improve. What can Duck and Cosby do here? Duck improves to 9th. Goku now in danger. What can Cosby do? Bowling does not improve. Cosby improves to 3rd. Goku now out. Unfortunately. Mourinho, Razek, Bowling, Inferno Trap, Love, and Goku out in Q2 in Abu Dhabi. We do also have a penalty for Master that will need to be served on race start. Kaz is just very happy about getting to Q3. Same boring drivers in Q3.
Okay, so the green light is now.
I feel a sense of salt. Hello, Edster. I am okay, yes. Oh, we have a red flag here. Cosby continues the shenanigans. Kai says snooze fast, and Cosby finds the wall. I'm doing good, Edster. I've just been a little bit busy this week more so than anything else.
Unable to take evasive action. I imagine their confidence will have taken.
And I've been trying to edit something that I recorded while basically having no voice, and it's been taking a little bit longer than I expected. But it should hopefully be out tonight. Yeah, we start with the red flagger in Q3 from Cosby. That is not good for the Red Bulls. It was about time. It was about time. Damn. Check the cars after Q3. I'll have to check them after the race. This is the second race of the season, however, so it shouldn't be any problems, David. Yeah, I think we'll have time for another set of laps here. So, I think everyone's going to go in the pits and go out again. Currently, though, Dub, Voice for Paul, Master, Kaiser, Cole, Monas, Floof, Taz, and then Living Duck. Halfway point of the season after 4 races. I'm sorry, Christy. I assume the problem is on YouTube side because I'm not seeing any issues in OBS at least, so there is something here that unfortunately I do not have control over. Yeah, everyone going on out right now. Duck going out last could put him in a good position. Floof is going out first, who is going to have what it takes it to improve. 17.7, that is an improvement for Floof. Not for Cole. Dub with a purple first sector. Yellow middle sector here for Floof. Not what he needs if he wishes to improve. Purple again for Dub. Floof improves up into 4th. What can Taz do? We have Dub here improving. We have Kaiser improving. Where is Kaiser going to place himself here? Up into 2nd. Living Duck. You would last one out. Up into only 7th place here. Dub found some illegal pace by the looks of it. 19.8 actually. Twitch stream? I'm not streaming on Twitch. I tried to set up the multi-stream, it just refused to cooperate with me. So I'm not doing that at the moment. And streaming on YouTube is just easier for me. There we go. We are ready. Pit lane start. Let's jump on it.
Welcome back, everyone. Hold on tight. It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Lights out, and away we go here. That is a great start for Dub. Not as good a start for Kaiser here. Floof jumps up into 2nd place. Cole in 4th. We have Master in 5th, fighting Monas. They're still going side by side. Then we have Living Duck, Taz, Cosby, and Kieran Love finishing out the top 10 here. We are just going to quickly retire. Then we'll see if we get through this first lap without Cosby finding another wall. Cosby here, starting on a hard tire, getting some fresh. Something fresh, let's just put it like that. Give me 2 seconds, almost at my door. I'm just going to allow things to run. Sorry, I'm just going to allow things to run as they are. Sorry about that. I am now back, and it looks like Floof has taken lead here. The soft tires are going to degrade pretty quickly. There should be plenty of pit stop action here, and we'll see how things go. Yeah, Cosby did not get a grid penalty because I'm pretty sure they could just change to components they already had. Cosby ate the wall, remember? So they were still in Q3. In general here, they wouldn't really have any problems apart from just replacing the components that go broken. If we see any big changes in performance, it would probably be the result of the AI just putting on worse parts. They've done that before. But we'll see what happens after the race here. I think we'll be okay. For the time being, however, Derby's in lead, Floof second, Master, and then Kaiser are fighting for the third and fourth. Onas, Taz, Cole, Goku, and Cosby are squabbling. Then Living Duck is finishing off the points, although everyone is still running fairly close to each other here. I'm going to speed this up a little bit as we are slightly behind schedule and I might need to run. That was basically why there was someone at my door. So, yeah, we'll figure this out in a bit, but generally, I think we should be okay. He actually just set a storming lap in FP3. Does not really surprise me. I'm looking forward to seeing qualifying later. I'm looking forward to the race tomorrow. Hopefully it should be good. But yeah, the top here are kind of running away. It kind of makes sense, however. There's hard tires versus people pushing softs, basically. But the gaps here are starting to form a little bit. We have a yellow flag there, and Floof being the first car here to hit 30%.
So we're heading now into turn 5.
8x, 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 16x.
And hopefully there's not...
Yeah, Bowling has put themselves in a bit of a tough spot there. And actually, 27% down the medium. Floof comes in. That is a hard tire. Is Bowling going to come in? Is Bowling going to stay out longer? That is the question. I assume they're going to pit, and they do. Floof comes out in 15th here, I think. Yes. They are going to have to contend with some people probably going for a few longer laps here. Going to need some clean overtakes. Do not lose time to the top 3, I think. Kaiser somehow saved a lot more time than the rest here. Hello, Cosby. You crashed in Q3. You spun like 6 times in Brazil. Apart from that, things have been good. Austin now comes into the pit lane along with Monas. Medium tire, clean stop there from the RB. What about the Williams? Medium tire, also clean stop. Floof might actually be in a pretty good position here. There's a lot of free air. Although, the Alpine Pain does get the overtake done. How am I still doing well then? Well, because you crashed in Q3, which meant that the lowest place you could drop to was 9th. So, that's basically why. As Stub comes in the pits. Hello, Parker. Unfortunately, your bad luck is continuing. You picked up a puncture in Brazil, and as a result, didn't score any points in the first race. Yeah, Dub here. Alpine going for a soft tire. That's some interesting undercut potential, I think. Gonna be interesting to see here what the Alpine team pulls up with this one, as Cole is getting into dangerous territory with their tires. Floof now. The undercut is on. Has 4 seconds to master at this stage. Boss PR. Just got to work that Floof out of the car. Oh, we'll see how that goes as you come in for a pit stop here. Those are hard tires for Mercedes. What about the Aston mediums? We have a yellow flag. We have a long-lasting yellow flag. Has anyone crashed? Alpine with a lockup.
Let's have a look as we go into the 13th corner.
Well, I hate Alpine with a lockup.
And the car fails to respond.
On those fresh
And
soft
it leads
tires,
behind.
mind you. But yeah, last time's race winner comes out here in 17th after pitting. Out in Q1, sorry, it's not a good thing. Just 10% loss there on those soft tires. Not as bad as it could have been. And Floof is about to catch his teammate at this rate with these fresher tires. That's now pushing 27.4, fastest car on track. Definitely going to try and get some of that time back before they do pit. Fastest lap goes the way of Floof. Did not like me saying that clearly. Hotel and Mourinho both coming in. Hards for the Williams, mediums for the Alpine. Welcome to the Wiggle Cam, everyone. I still love when you pull this bug off. But yeah, Cosby now comes in. Rassett comes in. Hard tires for the Ferrari. What are we getting here for the Red Bull? Those look suspiciously like soft tires. Same as what Tazza went to here. Move right now. Has a pretty decent advantage. Not gonna lie. Master is 5 seconds down the road. Dub. So far, things are going the way of the Red Bulls here. Well, one Red Bull in particular, but you get what I mean. Booth now has somehow gotten a 37-second gap to Razak. Some black magic going on. Goku goes in, gets on a pair of mediums. Baba here is going for hard tires. I think the question is just going to be the fight of the 2 stoppers versus the 3 stoppers. I think that is what it's going to boil down to. I'm a pissed off behind Floof. This is miserable. That is just the nature of it, yeah, unfortunately. Pissed off behind Floof should be a band name, however. Floof now, in the lead. Tyser has yet to pit on those medium tires. It's going really long. Really, really long. Last one to pit as things stand. And it's still going to stay relatively close to the top 10 here. Let's come into the pits now. Hard tires for the Racing Bull. And as predicted here, it does stay within, well, almost stay within the top 10 with 30 to 35% usable tire compared to, well, most others. That could be a boon, but 24 seconds need to be gained back on Floof here. Is that going to be viable over the course of this race? Me with 98 overtaking, barely managed to overtake Petrov. Well, problem Cosby is whenever you overtake someone, you spin. Like you spun 3 times in Brazil, 4 times. You spun a lot. Let's just put it like that. But yeah, Petrov has taken that position back. Cosby, the overtaking is good, but your defending needs some work, I guess. And interestingly enough, the gaps are pretty substantial at this point. Ice is actually in a pretty good spot here, 21 seconds behind the lead, but on basically fresh hards could get something interesting going. Goku, fast slap. At least you got that going for you. And I still finished 6th, yes, because there was a safety car that brought you back into it and you didn't spin afterwards. A little bit curious how this one's gonna end. But yeah, Cosby, you did have a miserable Brazil race, and you did get saved by a safety car. There's just no way around that one. Currently, Alpine and Ferrari are having a bit of a miserable race here. Ferrari strategy did rear its ugly head already in Brazil by pitting someone who had basically fresh tires. I'm wondering if we're going to see some more Ferrari genius ideas here today. Yellow flag now. Inferno with a lockup.
Now this was at turn 1. There goes the steering. By that point, it was...
At least you avoided the wall. It could have been worse. Master and Tess are still fighting. Cosby, you kind of destroyed your sauce, but to be fair, there's two other drivers that have destroyed them more. Still not completely out of it. And to be fair, you should have hards remaining. So if you keep these alive for a few more laps, we could see you try and go hard till the end. Hard tires have been the kind of winners here for the AI, I dare say. We could still see something happen as Alpine is pitting into a hard tire. And Cole is pitting onto a hard tire. Now, in terms of the tires here, you look at the tire history. Tess here went 20 laps on those hard tires. We saw Cosby. You did about 21 laps, so you still have a medium remaining. My bad. 21 laps seems to be about the limit that people have done. Floof has currently been on these for 19 laps. So, with that in mind, could you do 24 laps on these tires? Yes. Do you want to do 24 laps on these tires? Probably not. I can't help but think that Cole is Colapinto. I think Floof was feeling the same thing, but his internet decided to abandon him, and he was just not allowed to partake in the season opener here. Onaz and Cosby both coming in right now. Medium tire for Cosby as predicted. Hard tire here for Monaz. You're not going till the end, Cosby. I just don't see that happening here. You're gonna need one more stop. And that is when things are gonna get interesting. Who in the top 10 still has a hard tire? Kyle here might have a hard tire. Master definitely has a hard tire. Kieran has a hard tire. We could see some interesting strategies here from those two in particular. Let's see it. Dub. Hard tire going on. Double stack from the Sauber here, but they do it cleanly. Max with a medium tire. Do they have a hard for you, Alpine? They do. Max, as I mentioned, might struggle in medium. 20 laps or so is doable. But the question now is going to be, can the hard runners that are towards the back undercut their way to the top? Dub right now is doing just that. Need to clear the cars ahead, however, which honestly shouldn't be a huge deal with fresh tires here. Floof now comes into the pit. Taz comes into the pit. Master comes into the pit. Medium tire for the Red Bull. Medium tire for the Mercedes. But Master has actually saved a hard tire till the end, and does definitely hold the advantage right now over the two medium runners. That blue color fooled me for a second. I thought they always had done the Ferrari strategy and put on a wet, but they haven't, of course. Dub right now finds himself next to Floof, and I hate to say it, Sauber is actually doing pretty decently right now. It's definitely new. I can't do 22 laps of mediums, I know. I'm just giving you a little bit of hope that maybe, just maybe, you'll survive. Kira now coming into the pits for a hard tire. We'll be going till the end on that. Petrov is still staying out. Doesn't have anything but sauce remaining, so you can kind of understand it. Mortel in that very same position, but the longer they stay out, the more they're going to lose to the cars further behind. And at one point, it's not going to be worth it. Yellow flag now, as we have Tess and Master having a bit of an incident.
A crash. There's been a crash. Now we're down at turn 9, with not much room to move. The cars coming together.
That's
right there.
okay.
Would have taken a hit with that.
Tess and Master here playing domino or pool, depending on how you want to look at it. I don't know who's going to get punished for that one, but they both have destroyed their tires. They both have, I can guarantee they both have suspension damage. They do a little bit of wheel banging, and then they do a lot of wheel banging. That's a bit problematic, and Tessa does pick up a penalty for that one. Not a good start to the season here for the Mercedes crew. But yeah, that kind of basically forces both of them to pit again. That is going to put Taz in a very, very difficult position here. And with all the overtakes that are happening right now, confidence is going to go right out the window. Currently, both of these two are basically living weapons. A pair of Maldonados driving around. F1 bumper cars, yeah, indeed. But yeah, we have two Maldonados on track. I'm curious how that's going to go. Dub here has actually broken free from Floof. Could now try and chase down Kaiser as well. I don't think Kaiser survives till the end here. Kaiser very, very likely will have to pit again. The question is just how stubborn he's going to be and how long it's going to take until he pits. Goku now comes in. They have a soft waiting for you here. 16 laps. Bowling. I believe they have a soft waiting for you as well. They do indeed. 16 laps on that soft tire. It's going to be rough. No way around it. That one is going to be really, really rough. Petrov is still staying out on those hard tires. And the Mercedes strategy here leaves questions to be answered. Let's just put it like that. 25% now. As we have a very intermittent yellow flag with Gigi Baba locking up.
Well, things are okay at this stage. Struggling with the car, and they ended up.
With Goku, you do have some advantages. Basically, a lot of cars still need to pit. You can do some undercutting, and potentially you can undercut your way up into top 4. Well, not really, because let's see here, 5 cars have pitted, so top 8, which is still bad, don't get me wrong, but at least a little bit better than dead last. Baba now comes in and get rid of those hard tires for a soft tire with 15 laps to go. Petrov is being a bit of a nuisance because they're holding up faster cars like Cosby in this case. But we have a lot of cars just holding onto those tires in the hopes of a safety car, in the hopes of, well, just going for on soft till the end. But right now, Petrov is 130, 4 seconds slower than the top 4, and almost 6 seconds slower than Floof. 7 seconds slower than the fastest lap at the moment. So, yeah, it would be better to just get onto a soft tire, Petrov, at this point. Not gonna lie. And you do another lap. The Mercedes crew here has stolen the Ferrari strategists. The Ferrari crew have been kidnapped here, put in charge of Mercedes at this point. We could get a puncture in 2 races in a row here for Petrov. And we do. And who's going to benefit from this? William and Sauber get away free. Master gets held up. Hotel needs to pit or could suffer the same fate. Tess, Master, we actually have a lot of people who could suffer that very same fate. But yeah, Petrov here picks up a puncture because they kept them out. I don't believe those are 8-lap-old hards. Sorry, I need to find the actual correct one. They kept you on these hards now for 27 laps. They can do 26. 26 is the limit, Kaiser, as it turns out. But yeah, we do have 2 cars in out looking to join that very same fate, if you will. Mortel and Master, as well as Taz. They really needed to pit like a couple of laps ago. At this rate, the AI might try and be stubborn and do the same thing they did to Petrov and try and go till the end. And that would be pretty rough, not gonna lie. Hotel now in danger. Tess might actually bring this penalty over to the next race, so getting a puncture here would kind of be a blessing in disguise at this point because you can serve your penalty. Oh, Hotel. Virtual safety car. Spins it into the final corner. Did they get bin into the final corner, or did they bin it into the final corner is the question.
The car makes contact, and that won't do their confidence any good.
I assume they got a puncture as they turned in. And that actually caused that incident right there. But it's only a virtual safety car here. Only a virtual safety car. Which means Tess could still stay out. Tess could still pick up that puncture. Stays out with 20% tires here. 19. Goku gets points here just because two cars in front are going to need to either... Well, they're going to puncture or pit. Those are the two options they have. Sub currently in the lead. Floof second. Kaiser third. Monas fourth. Cosby fifth. Max 6th here. Master 7th. Trap 8. Taz 9th. Goku 10th. And... virtual safety car is ending. No one took advantage of it to pit. Oh, we have another yellow flag immediately. Taz also picks up a puncture just as they go past the pit lane. That is...
This, I think, was at turn 13.
tragic.
And the car just locks.
Why is Floof in a Red Bull? Floof is in a Red Bull because Alpine won Constructors last season. That is genuinely why Floof finds himself in the Red Bull. If you win Constructors season during the Euro Championship, you will have to stick with your current team the next season to try and keep your title, and that is what happened. I thought he would never get a seat like that. Damn. At least, Taz, you are going to be able to serve your penalty now. I love how the AI somehow loses time during the virtual safety car. Honestly, that one actually happens in real life too. But real life drivers are just able to mitigate that. Basically, I just want to explain this one quick, why you will be seeing AI lose or gain time during a virtual safety car. Basically, if a virtual safety car ends while you're in a corner, that is the best thing you could want, because basically while you're going through a corner, you're at your slowest. However, if a virtual safety car ends while you're in the middle of a straight, well, then you're going to be losing time because you need to accelerate now from the middle of the straight instead of the corner. And basically, you're losing time because you aren't traveling as fast down that straight as you should compared to the car that is, say, in the corner behind you when this virtual safety car ends. And as a result of that, if you're in a corner, you'll generally gain on a car that is in the middle of a straight. In real life, drivers, they, account for this. They build up extra DRS delta, which is basically just how quick you're allowed to go. And there we go, Master with a puncture. They basically just build up time so they can go fast down those straights. And the AI in this game just doesn't do that. So yeah, the AI will definitely screw you over during virtual safety cars. It's just how the game works. There's not really much you can do about it as the manager either. The virtual safety cars is kind of hit and miss if you gain or lose time just due to that. Yeah, Goku should be somewhat happy now. Two rivals have been, well, not eliminated. They've been put out of contention because they refused to pit, really. And now they've been penalized for it. I'm still impressed that both Mercedes cars managed to puncture here. That is something I did not expect at the start of the Abu Dhabi GP. I am not gonna lie. Cosby could actually snatch 4th place from Monas. We'll have to see how that one goes. But yeah, Alpine, Love, Goku are fighting for 8th, 9th, and 10th. And Cosby is getting into the fight here for 4th place with just 3 laps to go. Have to see if it can take that place or if it's a little bit too much to ask. Cosby right now is ahead, but does have worse tires, which generally will translate to not being able to hold on to it, but we'll see. Goku is still doing a good job of holding on to 8th place. But there are 200 cars behind. They're not going to give that up easily. Floof is even catching up to Dub right now. Gained 1.2 second on that last lap alone. That's insanity. Really. I thought the puncture nightmare was over after season 3. I'm sorry, Cosby. The puncture nightmare never ends with the AI. Cosby's been when? I don't know. He's been surprisingly stable this race. But yeah. The puncture madness did not end for Merc. Floof now. Caught up to Dub is going to be fighting for this win. Just a couple of laps to go here. We will see Cosby fight for 4th. Although, to be fair, there is a lap Mercedes behind him. That's actually making life a little bit hard right now. Goku versus Alpine and Love. What is going to happen here? Nothing so far. Floof is getting ready for the overtake. Completes it on the back straight, and it's just one lap to go here now. Once Floof crosses the line. Dub has better tires. Is that going to be what is needed here to take that place back? Final lap starts with Floof in the lead, Dub second, Kaiser third, Ones fourth, Cosby fifth, Max in sixth, then we have Trap, Goku, Alpine, and Love. And right now, Dub has DRS down the straight. And does, in fact, maybe get that place back. Doesn't actually, however. Could that be it for Floof? Ooh. Is Floof actually going to hold off here? Cosby up into 4th here. What can the Williams do? Goes up into 4th again. Unfortunately. Goku. They've caught up to Infernal Trap here, actually. Yeah, Floof does win. I did go a little bit too much fun. Managed here. Floof wins. Dub. Heist is going to come into 3rd. We have Monas, followed by Cosby for 4th and 5th. Max is going to go into solitary 6th place. Then we have Trap versus Goku. And is there going to be any changes here? I don't think so. That is the top 10. Trap 7th, Goku 8th, Alpine 9th, and then we have Love. Mourinho in 11th. Bowling, Razek, Baba, Cole, Living Duck, Petrov, Master, and Taz. After they got absolutely shafted by their team here.
Sometimes I think you just have to accept that it's not going to be.
Floof did in fact win Australia in F2. Sauber dominant sports fans, we shall see.
No driver wants that to happen, but now they just have to look forward.
Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling?
Think Floof wins hurts me. Well, we all know why Floof's winning. It's because he isn't here. His internet told him no, you're not allowed to participate. But at least suit your pain with the grandeur that is Floof in this picture right here. Look at that beautiful, beautiful Floof that we have right there. Okay, with Floof win here, the lead is still Max because Floof scored 1 point last time around. So Max here still holds the lead. Alpine still being a part of this. WMD now moves up to 5th. And Monas moves up to 9th. And Sauber here does retain the lead, but Red Bull moves up into 2nd. Ferrari down to 3rd, Alpine to 4th. And RB here moves up into 5th. And with Williams scoring points, every team now has points. But there's plenty of drivers who are still to get on that board. What is that picture? Well, it is a Floof sanctioned picture, so it's fine. If I'm not happy for Floof, I will be crying at the end of my own race. That is unfortunate, yes. Master has 0 points. Master got assassinated in the first race in Brazil. Well, Master didn't get assassinated. Master assassinated. I think is the proper terminology. And with the puncture they picked up here, then yeah, they have 0 points. DNF and a puncture. Not a good start to the season, but on the plus side, if you finish 16th or below, you get 3 rerolls. So potentially they could gamble and turn it around with the double points at the end of the year. I will check the cards once we get to Belgium. I will do my best to actually remember it this time around. But they should, as I mentioned, unless the AI has pulled something, be still equal. Because I've given them depth this time around as well. I also messed around a little bit with the stats here. As you can see from my drivers. I might need to gamble for better stats to avoid crashes like that. That's the thing. Gamble away. I don't know what I can do about the dump. So, Merc had, Merc gave you a constructor test and was just like, nah, I'm done now. Here for Petrov, constructors, nah, we're done. Give the Ferrari pit crew a chance to take over. I'm glad that I can't get fired. Honestly, because that would make this a pain. But yeah, we'll take a look at the cars, see if they've breached. Done something they shouldn't. And right now, it does in fact look like someone has put on a part they shouldn't have. A worse part than what they currently have. So, if I'm not mistaken, Ferrari still looks correct. McLaren looks correct. Red Bull looks correct. Mercedes looks correct. Alpine looks correct. Williams looks okay. Haas looks okay. RB looks okay. Sauber looks okay. Okay, so no one has actually messed anything up. My fault. Basically, what is actually happening here is that this number 2 should be 81.82. But because my DRS effectiveness isn't 100%, that's why this number is blocked. So everyone is still equal. So the steps that I have taken to ensure an equal world has been successful. But yeah, that 80.52 did worry me for a second here, that the AI had done the classic AI thing and put on a part that is worse than what they were supposed to be using. But of course, the other 81.82s would have been messed up too if they did that. So yeah, everyone is still completely equal, which is nice. The root of all Mercedes problems is floof. That's fun. I think Sauber with higher speed. Okay, Sauber versus Ferrari. So the reason why Sauber has a higher speed is because Sauber has a Mercedes engine. For the first 4 races here, Mercedes is going to be the most powerful engine at 80%. That's what their Mercedes rolled. Renault, which no one picked, is at 78%. Red Bull, which most of you picked, 6 of your teams are running Red Bull engines, is at 76%, and then Ferrari at 74%. After 4 races, we're going to flip this around, so Ferrari will be 80%, Mercedes will be 74%. You get the idea. The other team running Mercedes engines is Mercedes. So you can kind of see how this worked out. Yeah, you chose engines. You said when you post your application, you set an engine that you would like to have. Let me see if I can find you here, and we'll take a quick look. Basically, you didn't have to set an engine, but you set an engine wish, and I tried to basically give you what you asked for as much as possible. Let us see here. Yeah, basically, I didn't force anyone to choose an engine. There was a lot of you who said any engine. And let's see here. For Ty, what did you say? Yeah, basically, like Cal, any engine. You are not the only one that said any engine, Ty, but you're one of them. The last race is double points, yes. I'm pretty sure the reason why you picked any engine is because I said the engine power would be rolled randomly. No, you didn't say any engine. You said any. You didn't specify an engine, which means that any. And let's see here. Let's see here. But with that said, we're just going to jump into the race here.
This weekend, we're in Belgium.
And we are getting heavy rain for this one. That should spice things up a little bit. Let's see how the first quality session goes when we start on a wet tire. I like how you picked the higher race targets when you're retiring your vehicle regardless. Well, I'm never meeting any of them, so why shouldn't I just go all in? Okay, we're starting on the wets, and then we're going to have basically inter-qualifying runs towards the end there. Which means I could be a problem. I will try and avoid being a problem. But with 20 cars on the track, it's going to be hard to do that. Not going to lie. You can even see the gang here leaving the pits, all of them together. Who is going to be the one with the best banker time? Although, let's face it, the banker times here are going to be fairly worthless. They are going to be absolutely beaten. And it's very interesting that all you have elected to go for Inters here. There's going to be heavy rain race as well, so honestly, probably a good thing to go Inters here. Cosby, Master, and well, Rasek have elected to use a little bit of their soft tire. We have a yellow flag. Kieran having a bit of a problem here.
It all starts as they reach turn 17.
It has indeed changed the damp. You're not wrong, Taz.
There's the lockup. To be fair though, even the
That's a bit of a destruction on the Inter there. Well, just 3% worse, so basically nothing. But yeah, not great by any means of the imagination for anyone here. So Cosby, currently the best one out of the gate. These times are going to change drastically as it dries up. So we could see someone get knocked out purely due to the fact that they chose to go out very late. Tess is the first car out. That is a little bit worrying, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna send Leche out here because I think everyone has left now. But yeah, Tess going out first is not where you want to be, neither for Dub here. We do have a bit of a tradition of our race winner going out in Q1 on the following race. Let's see if they do that again. Goku, Motel, Mourinho, all kind of in a bad spot here because it is just going to get drier and drier. Rest in peace, my quality. Test with the current purple first sector. Immediately taken away by Dub. Immediately taken away by Goku. I think we're going to see that sector change hands a lot of times. And as I said that, it changed hands 4 times here. Terra now with the best first sector. And we do steal that one again. Inferno, what can you do? Tez. Yeah, Tez is already in danger. Tez is 1.3 seconds off at the moment. Let's be honest, everyone here is just going to consistently go up, up, up. Petrov, out. Tess, out. The Mercedes here, not having a good start to the season by any means of the imagination. We also have Floof out. We have Cole out. We have Alpine out. And to be fair, there was no real way to keep track of anyone because everyone's still laps at the same time. But yeah, Tess went from the top to the bottom. And I assume Petrov here did get held up because that's a second loss in the middle sector. 1.5 seconds loss in the middle sector, really. And another second loss in the final sector. That is unfortunate. Cosby apparently being the absolute gremlin and doing a little bit of blocking there in the quali. I think you survived, Ty. I think you're fine. Okay, so this is going to be another one-lap shootout because it is going to get wetter and wetter and wetter. So this is going to be interesting. I think Master is currently the one out first. Let's see if they can set a good initial timer for everyone to beat. When you feel disappointment, it doesn't seem to be disappointing anymore, damn. I love that we've reached the point, like the point of this, where disappointment is just felt by everyone at the same time. Who was it? Kieran. You need to stop running wide, but this is on outlap, so you're still fine. But yeah, let's speed this up a little bit. I was filling up my glass. Let's see what Master can do here. As we have another yellow flag. It's this time Cosby.
There's a yellow flag now.
It's Inferno Trap with a spin to win.
Turn 13. Whoa, and there it goes. And ultimately,
I don't know how you have not put it in the wall, honestly. That's pretty impressive just from that perspective. Inferno somehow kept the car out of the wall here. 33.4 is the time to beat in the first sector. Bowling, Rasek, similar times to Master. Cosby, Goku, 10th off. Baba, Monas, 10th off. First sector is just a 10th basically between every single car. We've actually caught up to... Please don't do it. I'll have to see if we almost sabotaged him here, but Master, that's the time to beat here. Rasek goes up ahead. Bowling goes ahead. Are we going to be seeing Isa here with the purple middle sector, but getting a little bit held up here by the Aston. Goku, 6th place at the moment. Master 7th still. Dub up into 3rd. Mourinho up into 2nd. I think we screwed Master up a little bit in that final sector in particular. But that is just unfortunate name of the game here. Living Duck, Master, Goku, Monaz, Baba, and Max out in Q2. And somehow, Inferno did a little bit of spin to win here. Actually got through. Blasphemy. No idea what Living Duck did though. Does the game simulate gravel or grass and tires? I don't believe it does it very well if it does. How did I survive me and Max at the exact same time? You said it before him, Cosby. That is why you're alive and he's in danger. But yeah, pretty close here, honestly. Then we have some cars just setting record times. It's like we have one car every qualifying session that just surpasses the rest somehow. Yeah, that is the unfortunate reality of the wet qualifying here. Okay, so here it's gonna get wet and then dry again. So we're just gonna... Oh, never mind. I made a mistake. A chair! Reconnaissance lap. Don't worry, I just sent Lecher out on a reconnaissance. I remembered I didn't steal the point for fastest lap here. Muscle memory, Cosby. Muscle memory. I always send my tripod immediately as quality starts. At least this time, yeah, I've evolved so I noticed. Okay, Kaiser is the first one here. What kind of lap times are we seeing? A 34.7 in the first sector. Are we going to be seeing anything better? No. Bowling with a 34.9. 2 tenths down already in the first sector alone. You're going to improve trap. Improves by 2 tenths. The Hasse, good in the wet. What time is Kaiser setting here? As Bowling gets a new purple sector in the middle. New purple in the mid sector. Trap, what are you going to do here? A little bit held up by Rasik there, but I think it's fine. Bowling. A little over a tenth down. Trap with 2 purple sectors. Should be taking the pole here. 6 tenths up on Kaiser. That is honestly pretty impressive. Not gonna lie. Rasek is already a second down in the first sector. Cosby now with a new purple first sector. What? Kieran? How are you almost a second up on Cosby? I assume Mr. Williams giving you, you know, basically DRS here? So that's insane. Cosby, purple middle sector. The revenge of the Williams here. Rasak, 1.4 seconds down. Makes sense. Yeah, Kieran getting held up right now by that Williams. But helped in the first sector, getting held up in the second one. Cosby goes up to second at the moment. What can Kieran and Mortel do here? They're running side by side, being a nuisance to each other. Kieran still takes pole at the moment. Dub, 8 tenths down in that first sector, similar second sector. And what are we seeing here? Dub up into 5th. What is Floof's performance so far? A win? I am back. What happens in the previous race? Floof success, yes, and a double puncture for the Mercedes cars. Let's see now what Mourinho can do. I was about to call him Kieran again. There is a car that's a little bit in the way. What can Alpine do here? Just 7th. Not good enough. Kieran here being unbeatable in the wet qualifying as it turns out. In phone trap second, then we have Cosby, Hotel, Dub, Kaiser, Mourinho, Bowling, and Rasek in this Q3 qualifying session. On the standings, where is Floof? We'll take a look at that once the race begins. He is 2nd or 3rd, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Mercedes not having a good time while you've been going to Mitsuki, unfortunately. And they continue that here. This could be an insane race, however, just looking at this. So we start dry, inters, wets, dries. The funny thing is, Parker, that Floof's internet has told him that no, you're staying away. So, yeah. This is going to be a very spicy spa race. We might just see, you know, everything gets shut down around lap 25. If this was reality.
Well then, you can hear the excitement in the crowd here at the Belgian Grand Prix. And it's lights out.
Lights out. Away we go. There is just a few medium runners, and that's a really, really good start from Kieran. Trap here, retains second. Motel is third. Cosby falls down to fourth. And we have Dub, Kaiser, Mourinho, Bowling, Rasek, and Max here. Rounding out the top 10. A lot of softs, not as many as mediums. But no one is expecting this to go far enough that we'll have a use of a hard tire. Is what I'm seeing. But it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes once it starts raining, honestly. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to, as Motel launches an attack here on Inferno Trap and gets that overtake done. Ooh, that sucks. It's always more fun with Floof. Floof had like 144, like even 144p wouldn't buffer for him. And the radio, the voice that came through was just robotic and basically undecipherable to him. So yeah, he was not having a good time, let's just put it like that. Yeah. Oh, I think we saw a spin there before I okay, who is the one that parked everyone? We saw a spin there just before I changed the angle. It was someone in the top 3, top 4. Inferno Trap, yeah, with a bit of a spin.
And that's the moment they lose it. And there'll be words had after this, I'm sure.
Hello, do you come here often? The worst part about that whole situation is Trap kept his position. I'm not gonna lie. Trap literally did a... Not even a tree. Did a spin. Sat down in front of Cosby and said, hello, do you come here often? And gave the top 2 here 8 seconds on lap 2. Inferno as the secret agent man, helping Williams and Aston get on the board. We'll see how impressive my precision game skills are, provided no one crashes into me and penalizes me again. Trap the rest of the track, yeah. Floof wishes he was as effective of a wall as Trap is. Because Trap literally did become a wall there. I love how Cosby just realized that Trap almost ended his race. It's like... At least you guys here wrestling off each other is allowing the rest of you guys to catch up. The 8-second gap is growing again. It was 5 seconds just now, and now it's up to 6 again. So yeah, you guys need to cooperate to catch Love and Mortel. Right now, you're not doing it. And in terms of the weather here, rain is arriving sometime soon. That was just showing you some new tricks? Yeah, basically. Let us see here what we can do. I'm just speeding this one up a little bit because it's basically just one long DRS train and 2 people running away. Floof now, dead last. The Mercedes are moving up a little bit. Need to give them credit for that at least. But yeah, Dub now has moved up in the podium place, is ready to start chasing down the runaways here of Motel and Love. Since I joined, Floof is not doing good, so see you guys later. See you later, Tex. Thank you for stopping by. Floof is defending last place like he should. It's where he belongs. Damn. Oh, we have a red flag. GG Baba. The reverse Baba Yaga has crashed.
Let's have a look as we go into the 13th corner. And ends up making contact with the barrier. And they'll definitely be facing
Didn't they do that exact same thing during quali? Unfortunately for Karen, unfortunately for Mortel, this does put us into heavy rain territory. Immediately. Immediately. Heavy rain territory. As Floof manager, I can't stay here anymore. It's too much Floof.
Not for the first time today. The drivers are lined up, awaiting.
I am misrepresenting you right now. Oh, so you're the one that holds the currents. I see. Everyone.
And it's lights out, and away
Everyone. On a wet tire here. As the first two here get a good start, both of them retain their positions. Cosby and Dub are squabbling. And the question is just now, how is this going to affect the race? It basically guarantees a dry finish. And also an interperiod before that dry finish. That is going to spice things up quite a bit. Here and here leads Mortal, Cosby, Dub, Bowling, Mourinho somehow up into 6th here. Trap in 7th, Max in 8th, Razak 9th. We have Monas down into 10th. Kaiser, Goku, Petrov, Master, Taz, Alpine, Duck, Cole, and finally we have Floof. Running where, according to Mizuki, he belongs. Dead last. Which I think is a little bit rough, but hey, it is what it is. Cosby right now, trying to get that second place.
Quite wet for those on the track.
What has Kaiser done? Any terrorism?
Oh, and the car locks up. Just unable to control the car.
Did Kaiser just lock and overtake? Damn, Kaiser. Kaiser just locked up and overtook the Williams. That's actually insane. I think it's the first time in this game where I've seen a lockup actually have a positive effect. Oh, we have damage here, Cole.
Not quite sure what's happened there.
Cole and Floof has crashed, I think. They have indeed crashed, and Cole has picked up wing damage or suspension damage. We're not sure yet. Floof. Question is Floof going to pick up a penalty here? He does, in fact, get penalized. Floof here with a 5-second penalty for causing a collision with Cole. Did not want to be lost. Collision was his answer. As Cosby has found his way up into 2nd place, but Mortel is not willing to give it up just yet. Doesn't have any choice, however. He tooled out Floof. Yeah, Floof right now is not having a good time, Cosby. At this point, it is becoming a tradition that whoever wins the race immediately just gets no points next race. And I'm kind of all for it here, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, condition has finally hit wet. We are just going to speed this up a little bit until we get to the inter period and then the dry period. As I hopefully want to get this stream done before qualifying begins, so speed will be of the essence. There will be a little bit of squabbling back and forth. It's just the nature of the game. And it's also interesting to see just how much more the top two here, well, 2nd and 3rd place are burning tires compared to other cars at the moment. Let's just put it like that. The Petrov strategy, absolute success or absolute failure. Well, you haven't had much success lately, Petrov. Needs to get more success back into that strategy. Well, let's see though if you can get any more overtakes done here. It's going to be difficult with the rain. Oh, Cosby has now crashed. Got inspired by their teammate here. Cosby has, I believe, taken out Kieran. Or Kieran has taken out Cosby. No. Cosby has assaulted the Aston Martin that was in the lead.
the team back in the garage. That was a tough moment to watch.
Are we seeing a double penalty for the Red Bulls? As Kieran still has found his way back on track and goes from leading to basically falling to the back of the grid here. And Cole has to have done something too, because Cole has lost a lot of time. Cosby, that looks like wing damage, which makes sense because you locked in and just, you know, sent it. The question here is, are you going to get a penalty for your crimes, or are you going to get away scot-free? Penalty. The Red Bull team is now the penalty bros. 5-second penalty does not really make up for the loss here for Kieran. I'm not going to lie. Red Bull, can you please change my front wing along McLaren? We shall see if McLaren is as Red Bull is. But yeah, Cosby here now has front wing damage. We saw another yellow flag that Tess now running wide. We're starting getting to the point now where people are starting to make mistakes. But that one is pretty minor, and you don't really lose anything from it. Just a warning for track limits. Kieran here has gone to an inter tire. I didn't even notice. Kieran is trying something a little bit different compared to the rest of you. It's probably a little bit too early, however. It's not a bad idea. The execution is just a tad early. And right now they're even losing time to Cole. So yeah, 2-3 seconds slower on lap right now, using a lot of that durability as well. Right now they are going to get quicker, however, and the question here with Kieran is going to be very, very simple. Is everyone going to pit for an inter here, or are they going to try and bridge the gap? Because it has already stopped raining. The weather forecast is just cloudy right now, so once it stops raining in 4 minutes, things could get very, very interesting. Has Kieran here done the correct choice? Remains to be seen. 26 seconds need to be made up just to catch up to Cole. And then a good 30 seconds to really get to the back of this train. So I don't know what is the correct choice here. We'll have to wait and see if this one is a good choice or not. Maxi here with a 57, showing us that needs a little bit more here, Kieran. It's a little bit more oomph. It still retains 3 at 86, 87 right now. Gonna be 1 more minute before Kieran can start catching anyone. But Salbe are gonna have a little bit of a problem of a double stack, and the Red Bulls are gonna have the problem of double penalty stack. Floof with a lockup now.
See what happened. It's the Red Bull driver. Things look fine here.
Floof almost could have taken out the Alpine there. And Floof also does a lockup overtake. That's 2 in 1 race. That's actually quite impressive. But yeah, it is getting drier. We are going to be seeing these inters getting absolutely shredded as it gets drier, but it's just going to keep on getting dry. It's not going to be enough time here really for Kieran to make much of a march. He gained 3, 4, 5 seconds last lap. He's going to get a similar amount of time this lap. But with the way the water's degrading, it's just 2 or 3 laps before everyone pits. And that just is not going to be enough time, I think, to catch up to even Floof here. That is kind of the problem that he's facing right now. On the other hand, we could see punctures. The AI could stubbornly hold on to these tires, and we could be seeing some punctures right now. 6 seconds gain there for Kieran. If they do another lap while staying out, punctures are most likely going to be the fate of half of these drivers. Floof, Petrov, Cosby, Dub, Mortel. Both of them could throw away a win here by staying out, but both of them do come into the pits here. The pit mayhem begins. Who is going to come out the victor of this? Clean stop for Dub. What about Mortel? Clean stop onto a soft tire. Well, to be fair, everyone will be going onto a soft tire. Mortel retains first. Dub retains second. Bowling third. Mourinho fourth. We have Maxi in fifth. Razak 6, Trap 7, Kaiser in 9th. Kieran stays out for one more, which honestly makes sense by all means imagination. Petrov up into 10th now. Gonna be 9th once Lee pits. Goku 11th, Alpine 12th, Tess 13th, Doug 14th, Monas 15th, Horsby in 16th. Then we have Master, and then we have Floof. The penalties being served here, not doing them any favors, I dare say. But yeah, Kieran now should be coming in within 1 or 2 laps, and when he does, it's back to the back again. So needs a red flag or a safety car on this lap right here. Yellow flag as Goku has picked up some damage.
Now the Ferrari's involved in this one. But this is what happened. Now this, I think, was at turn 13. There's clear contact there.
Spins and hits the wall. That is very unfortunate. Is that it's either the rear wing or suspension, most likely, which is unfortunate as mentioned. Bowling now up into the lead. Tai is Son Goku here. But yeah, tearing it out, comes to pits, comes out in 17th. It is unfortunate for what a race that was going so well, but we have Williams versus McLaren at the moment. They have a 3-second gap to Sauber, then another 3-second gap down to the Alpine and Ferrari duo. To be fair, Trap and Max is also part of it. Petro is up into 8. And we'll have to see if they have what it takes here to chase down the leaders. I'm very sorry, Ty. Mercedes master plan? Well, currently you are getting close to the points with both your cars, and that would honestly be, yeah, the Mercedes master plan. Because you haven't really been scoring much of any points so far. But yeah, fastest laps are being set all around. We are going to have a 3-way fight here, most likely for the win by the looks of it. 10 laps to go. And to be fair, the Alpine crew of Mourinho, Trap, Rassig, and Maxi here could get involved as well. We'll have to wait and see. Both the Mercedes have their own fight. Kaiser and Alpine, as well as Cosby, are, well, the opponents for that. But it's going to be curious to see who comes out on top of the top 3 here. We could still have an incident. As bad as that is to say. Can still happen. Dub right now with fastest lap. Side by side into the first corner. As for a result of them running side by side, Mortel has actually been left behind. But once they start running a little bit further... Oh, yeah, just like that, Bowling. Just like that. Kieran also ran wide, so
here we've got the Aston Martin. And that's where they
at least he didn't hit the wall there. Dub is a bit of a beast, yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, Bowling here also did kind of cut the corner a little bit. And let's face it, these guys are going to be squabbling all the way till the end. Current standings. Max is still going to retain the lead here. However, if Dub gets the winner come second, we're going to have a Sauber 1-2. Sauber 1-2 in the making here. And that would be a pretty significant lead for Sauber here in the constructors as well. Could we see Lando Norris's worst nightmare come to life here, where Sauber does well when he's the team principal? All things considered, there isn't really that much going on. Tess is kind of getting left behind here, honestly, by Cosby and Alpine. Nice is just holding on to 8. Max is kind of chilling. Trap is losing out to the top to 2 cars ahead, however. They are getting away. And Motel is once again getting kind of left behind here. But I think Dub and Bowling are going to squabble enough that Motel can probably just get back into it. It's happened twice already. It's going to most likely happen again. But Bowling and Dub seem to be very equal in terms of their pace right now, is what I'm trying to say. I'm just struggling to find the words because I'm an idiot. But yeah. Fights all around, except Tess, who has been left behind it 2.5 seconds now with Alpine. I guess they're struggling together and just slowing each other down more so than anything else. Honestly, Motel might be doing the correct thing here with just staying just slightly out of range so they can squabble as much as they want. And potentially they could come away with, you know, a easy win here. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Bowling versus Dub, Brasic versus Mourinho, Max versus Trap, Kaiser versus Petrov. Crosby right now is kind of running away with 10th place ahead of Tess and Alpine. We'll have to see if they can do anything about that. 3 laps to go here. Not really much is changing. Except for the 2-man fight for 4th has become a 4-man fight. We are getting closer till the end here. Last 2 laps are approaching. Currently we have a McLaren leading the pack. Maxi versus Mourinho is still going to be the fight for 4th by the looks of it. Trap versus Rasic for 6th. Kaiser versus Petrov for 8th. They're still running side by side. Are they going to go side by side up the hill? They are. That is kind of nuts, honestly. And finally, Mortel decides to get into this fight. Been running in 3rd forever, now up into 2nd. Is the Williams driver going to snatch the win here at the end? As Max has somehow found his way up into 4th. Mourinho, Trap, and Rasic are still a part of it. Mortel now up into the 1st. Has the Williams driver saved enough battery while running behind Bowling and Dub that they can create a gap here? Are we going to see a Williams masterpiece? We have a yellow flag. Mortel down to 2nd. Goku has ran wide.
We're watching the Ferrari.
Goku not having a good race here.
No, that's not quite what they were.
That's very similar to what Taz did. Not really a major moment at all. Bowling now is actually pulling a pretty sizable gap. 9/10 so far for the final corner. What can Trap and the rest of the crew here do? Nothing so far. Mortel, are you going to launch an attack now? Are you going to be able to do so on Bowling? No. What about further back here? Are we going to be seeing any changes in position? Rasek overtakes Inferno Trap. Maxi now has been left a little bit behind. Petrov gets Kaiser. And Mortel has pulled an overtake while we were looking at something else. No DRS on remaining here. Can the Williams drivers hold on to a potential win? McLaren is not giving up. Bowling is looking for any chance there at going deep. Mortel does hold on, however. Bowling is 2nd. Dub is 3rd. And that is the order they will finish this race in. Mourinho has created a gap to the cars further behind. And as it turns out, Ras is going to come 5th. Trap 6th. Max 7th. What about Kaiser and Petrov? They're also coming in slowly here. No real battle. Cosby is going to be able to secure 10th. And with that, we have our point scoring finishes. Alpine 11th, Tess 12th, Monas 13th, Master 14th. We have Floof in 15th. Living Duck, Love, Cole, and Goku. Pretty unlucky here for Kieran. If they didn't get taken out, probably would have had a chance of scoring a podium here.
Sometimes I think you just have
I was
to
cooking this
accept
race,
it's
just needed
not
more
gonna
time.
be your race.
That is just how it is sometimes. Yes, you're not wrong. But yeah, we have another rookie with a victory here. Two rookies have pulled off a win in the first 3 races, and that's actually pretty impressive altogether. Mortelli moves up into 4th place. Max, another rookie that won the first race of the season, still keeps a hold too. the lead. Constructors then, Sauber. Pretty sizable lead here. 74 points to 45. Williams moves up to third. Then we have Ferrari, Alpine, McLaren, RB, Mercedes, Haas, and Aston Martin. Aston not really having a good time so far. We do have 3 races here who has yet to score points, with one of them being last year's champion. We take all the points we can get. That is a good mentality to have. You're not wrong. But yeah, with that said, we are going to move on to the final race of the season. Not the season of today. The 4th race of the season. The last race before summer break. There we go. That is better wording. And that is going to be Canada. We are going to Canada. That is going to make things a little bit interesting here. But we are going to take a look and see if the AI has done something stupid with cars. They did do it last time. I would like to say that I've learned my lesson, but I haven't really. You guys do remind me, however, enough that I do get the lesson through my thick head eventually. So we'll take a look and see if the AI has done anything stupid once we get to Canada in about 3 weeks. Kind of feels like a ticking clock every time the day just goes 1 second further, to be fair. I think this is the first season where I've scored a points in 100% of the races so far. Cosby just amazed by his own performance right now. Which you wouldn't think considering what's happened. You've had a little bit of luck though, Cosby, let's be honest. You had some bad luck crashing, but you've also had some good luck in making a comeback. Let's not lie. So right now, it looks like the cars are still average. Well, cars are still equal, I dare say. But let's just go down the road here and see if we see anything out of the ordinary. I think that we are not going to do that, but it helps to be safe. This was the race that got screwed over last year. This year, it looks like we are going to be fine. Which is good. You also may have just jinxed yourself, Cosby. To be fair, we don't have the floof curse around right now to direct, but if we could, I would like to direct it to Cosby.
Formula One has arrived. Here we go.
It would also be amazing, though, if Max pulls out a win here in this championship. That would be kind of amazing. Nero jinxed me by saying my control and smoothness wouldn't be too bad unless I got insanely unlucky. Well, you've been lucky so far, Cosby, so haven't been bad, really. Not yet. That could always change, though, if a couple of people re-roll and the control gets better. That could change things. Yeah, we are ready for qualifying here in Canada. It is going to be dry, unless I'm mistaken,
Okay, so
which I
now.
am actually very often. Let's just see how this qualifying session goes. Not the best first run here for Alpine. We are currently on the banker laps, and so far Kieran has come out on top. I take that back. Master. Crap. We're actually seeing a little bit of improvement here. Max 14, Tess 12. Petro up into 5th. Can we finally see something good here from the Mercedes crew? As I think we are getting started now on the final runs. Monas, Tess, Ramsek, Max, and Floof In the drop zone. In the danger zone, if you will. Purple, first sector from Kaiser, improving. Even from 9th. Purple from Baba. Razak. Sorry, not purple. Green sector from Baba. Basically, identical time to Kaiser right now. Gets up into 3rd. What can Baba do? Up into 4th. Razak not really seeing the improvements that are needed and is out here in Q1. Lost 210 Sector 1, lost the 2-3 cents in Sector 2. Same story in Sector 3, and as a result, out there already. Cosby right now. Yellow Sector 2, Tez, not really improving. Should be out here, and Cosby didn't improve, but at the same time, I think should be safe, because I don't think anyone's going to improve past your time there, although Monas and Floof are both improving right now. Mourinho and Duck in the drop zone potentially. And yeah, Tess and Razakir are both out already. Monas improves, but just barely enough to get out of the drop zone. Floof right now. Drops Monas. Monas is out. Living Duck is in danger. It's not really improving on that time at the moment. To be fair, no one in the bottom 5 is improving right now. Max is improving. But I think the rest have kind of finished their runs here. Mourinho is not improving enough here to get out of the bottom 5. And it's only him and Max who are doing runs. Will Living Duck survive? Will Cole survive? Cole is safe. Can Max knock out Living Duck? He can. Living Duck, Monas, Mourinho, Tez, and Razak are out in Q1 in Canada. Some call it the Floof Zone. What are they calling the Floof Zone? Petrov.
And that should be the green light now.
What exactly are they calling is the Floof Zone? The bottom 5? Damn. The Wall Zone is the bottom 5? Test starting 19 in danger zone. Yeah, that's not where you want to be. You're not wrong. Currently, Dub had a bit of a bad run. Well, improves on that one, so no real biggie. But we are getting to the point right now where it's going to be difficult to improve further. What can Max do here? Not enough. Cosby does enough, however. Bowling, also not enough. They need to go again if they can. But Cosby and Flute find himself in 2nd and 3rd at the moment. Kaiser up in 1st. Yeah, we are going to need some improvement from these guys. If they want to go through. They should have enough time to prep another run. Motel is currently doing their final run. An improvement in the 1st sector. No improvement in the 2nd sector, though. It's not good enough. What is the 3rd sector going to say here? Good enough for 8. Problem is that everyone else could still improve. I see outlaps for virtually everyone right now. Maxi is going to be the last one to try and get around here with 1:30 on the clock. Could actually get in trouble here as Chichi Baba has had a terrible 1st sector, down by 7/10 compared to Petrov. And does not improve. Still in 10th, still in danger. Petrov, not the best 1st sector, but improvement in the 2nd. Not improving in the 3rd, however. Remains 7th. Remains 7th. Dub, improving. But we're more interested in seeing if Alpina can improve. 1st sector is green. What about the 2nd one? As Maxi did manage to get over the line in time. Is doing a fast lap. Baba, Trap, Hotel. Basically, a lot of cars that are in danger. What can Alpine do? 3 green sectors up into 3rd. Bowling right now is trying to improve. Green first sector, yellow middle sector. Trap in danger, but improves. Mortel now in danger. Petrov in danger. Bowling does not improve. Goku improves to 10th. What can Max do here? Improves to 9th. Knocks out Goku. Yeah, I didn't get to go through everyone. Knocks out Goku, Mortel, Baba, Bowling, Cole, and Master. Master not having a good start to the season, even with some pretty decent stats. We see Kaiser, Alpine, Cosby, Floof, Trap, Love, Dub, Max, and Petrov making it to Q3.
We should have the green light now.
Should indeed have the green light. Okay. What are we gonna see here? As Karen goes to another provisional poll. Question here is it gonna be good enough? That is gonna be the big question here, as honestly, Alpine is gonna have a good time. It's gonna have a clear track to try and get a better time. Yellow first sector though. Not great. Are we gonna see improvement in second sector? We do. Third sector is improvement to 6th. It's gonna be a pretty close qualifying, all things considered. Currently, Kaiser is not improving, which honestly not a surprise. Already done an amazing first run here. Did have a purple final sector though. Dub starts out with the purple. Cosby, purple middle right now. Cosby and Dub, pretty close to each other. What can Cosby do? Up into provisional first. Dub, provisional up into provisional first. Love is still improving and could be taking that position back immediately. Is that going to be the case here? It is in fact going to be the case. Top 3 here, separated by 500s. And what can Trap do? Final car across the line, up into 4th. 600s between the top 4. That's actually insanity. Cosby saying he was so close to pole, and yet there was 1 car between you guys. That's the best part about that. But yeah, just 600s between the top 4. That's actually quite impressive. Let's see how the Canada race is gonna go. We are ready to just jump into it as soon as I put myself firmly in the pit lane.
The anticipation. The drivers are ready and raring to go. It's the Canadian Grand Prix.
Canada Grand Prix, here we go.
Lights out, and away we go.
Karen gets off to a good start here. Dub retains second. Cosby and Trap are fighting. Well, Dub actually takes second. Cosby falls down to 4th. Kaiser 5th, Max 6th. Then we have Petrov, Floof, Goku, and Alpine. And we have potentially a little bit of a cluster here of cars that could cause some problems for each other if things go bad. Why do I always do a Lando? Wow, that's quite harsh. That's quite hard to just say. Why do I always do as Lando do? Lose positions on the start. Could it be, Cosby, that you have low reactions, mayhaps? Potentially? Because that would be a reason. 80 reactions. That shouldn't be the cause then. I guess you are just a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, the race has gotten off to a start here. Dub and Love are getting a little bit away from everyone else. We've seen this before. The gap is big enough where they can just go full send on their DRS. Sorry, their ERS while everyone else can't. And then they get reeled in within a lap or two after that, which is actually what just happened. Yeah, then I don't know, Cosby. If you have 80 reactions, you should be pretty solid. To be fair. Right now, however, it's just one big DRS train. We are just going to speed this up a little bit because there's no... Oh, never mind. We have the first victims of Canada. Kieran has once again been sent to the Shadow Realm.
What happened there?
Inferno Trap, what have you done? Inferno locks up and takes out 2 other cars, including a Sauber and an Aston, and they just keep on going, keep on trucking. That is very unfortunate. Dub is out here. Was there another crash further back at the same time? The other ass just runs into the back of the Alpine.
Just like
You
that.
can't make this stuff up. The other has attacked the other attacked the Alpine. Yeah, Inferno Trap here should have some pretty significant front wing damage. They are going into pit lane here. We are having a VAC. Baba decides to keep going even with what should be front wing damage for them. Kieran just gets sent to the Shadow Realm again, and those tires are basically gone. Should just pit here. Inferno Trap with a 5-second penalty. That's not going to do anything really for Kieran. Kieran's still going to be behind because, well, is it a 10-second penalty? It's actually a 10-second penalty. Okay, Kieran actually gets ahead, I think, with the 10-second penalty. But both of them do still have damage, however, so it doesn't really change much. But yeah, Kaiser, Maxi, and Petrov suddenly are running in the podium positions here. The stroll breaking method for Haas. Basically, yes. You're not wrong. And that is a interesting start here to this GP. Also a very unfortunate one, I'm not gonna lie. That Trap continues to cause problems. Let's just put it like that. I think Kieran also got put on old softs here to make matters worse. But yeah, we will have to see how this race goes. There's not really much to be said right now again. For the most part, it is going to be a DRS train. Restart is going to be a little bit... most cars. Petrov is on a hard tire here. If they can stick with the soft runners, could come out on top. But to be fair, same can be said for medium runners like Max here. It's gonna be a close one. This one, I do believe. And let's speed along a little bit here to the first pit lane. Currently, we do have Floof leading. Alongside Kaiser, they're both on soft tires, so a little bit quicker than everyone else. Petrov and Maxi are fighting for the last podium slot. Cosby and Goku fighting for 5th. We have DD Baba and Alpine fighting for 7th. Bowling and Cole fighting for, well, basically the last 2 point scoring places, alongside Motel and Master. We'll have to see if we see some McLaren or McLaren violence, as they have caught up to the Alpine here. Petrov now, up into 3rd. But the main thing here that's going to change this around is when we get to the first set of pit stops. Alpine running wide.
You can take a look now. Now we're just proceeding through turn 4.
If things continue like this, at least AFN will be happy.
Perhaps a little
Alpine is AFN's driver. AFN will be happy about the fact that they will not have to drive for Alpine again. I guess that is the only positive thing that AFN is getting out of this race. We have our first pit stops here. They're giving Baba a new wing now, finally. Cole, also in the pit lane. To come out, ahead of Inferno Traffic, just barely. This is a scary place to be, considering what the Hasses have done so far this race, Cole. We'll need to be careful. But yeah, the top 8 here are once again a DRS train. And that is going to make things a little bit spicy as Mortel actually just comes into the pits. Have to get rid of those tires. The other Williams, as well as Taz, also in pit lane here. Medium tires for Taz, soft tires for the Williams. Did they go medium here? Yeah, they go in medium here. Most cars, however, have gone soft, so yes, it does make sense. We'll have to see how long you can stay on these medium tires, though. For now, who is the next car to pit? It is Bowling. Alright, thanks for the stream. Have to visit the in-laws. I would like to risk a reroll. Roger that. I think we'll be doing rerolling probably tomorrow afternoon. So I'll post in the drive application. I'll poke everyone. But if I don't get the contact, well, if you don't respond before that, I will be re-rolling you, Petrov. Don't worry about that. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Hope to see you tomorrow too. Hopefully the in-laws aren't that bad. Bluefin now comes in from the lead with some medium tires awaiting. Gets dropped down. Not behind Mortel. It's still going to be net first there, I think. Yellow flag again. Mortel with a lockup.
Here we go, heading into turn 1. Very heavy on the brakes. They took a gamble, and it was just...
Well, that is not good for the Williams driver. They might still be able to remain... I think they're going to be jumping too many cars here of the top 5 still remaining. But if not for that lockup, they would have had a decent chance there. As Mourinho comes in. Soft to soft tire. And once again, we have the pit lane... the pit lane camera. I would love this camera angle if I could have this one. While cars are going down the pit lane. Kind of like this. No, he looked away as we have a yellow flag here. Bowling has crashed. What has Bowling and the Williams done? Is that Mortel? I think it is Mortel. Ooh. Bowling and Mortel here comes to blows, if I'm not mistaken. And it does in fact seem that way, yes. Rasek and Duck, both of them are pitting now and coming out of the pit lane. That does cause some problems for Bowling, because that seems to be mainly suspension damage. Bowling living up to the name. Is it Bowling if you get turned into a side of, though? Goku and Cosby comes in. Soft tires for Goku. What is Cosby going for here? Soft tires as well. Bowling gets 5 seconds for a collision caused here. At least not only the Red Bulls causing mayhem at the moment. Yeah, Kaiser still no soft tires. Petrov is just chilling out front. I'm curious how this undercut, well, how this overcut is going to work out. Because we have cars that are going really, really long. And right now they're getting into positions where they are going to need to make up a lot of time. Let's just put it like that. Kaiser is also getting closer to puncture territory. Luckily, I don't think the AI is going to put him into a puncture situation right now. But I wouldn't put it past the AI to do that. It would not be super surprising. As Kaiser finally comes to the pit lane here. Let's see where he comes out from. Running fairly high up. A medium tire now. Might not lose as much as I thought here. Comes out in 6th. That's not terrible. And considering how far he's behind Floof, who is net first if you take pit stops into account. 15%, 9 seconds. Might be a little bit too much here. But with Goku and potentially other cars here, acting as a DRS pulley might not be as bad as initially thought. We will have to wait and see. As Maxi, Petrov, and Alpine all have yet to pit here. Trap comes in. Goes to a hard tire. Are they going to do 40 laps on the hard tire? Because it is possible. Hard tires have a very, very long survival time here. And the best example of that is our leaders here. 31 laps for the medium. 31 laps for the hard. So we could be seeing Trap here trying to do some undercutting and just going till the end of this hard tire. Try and make something happen that way. Yeah, Maxi, Petrov, both of them still staying out. And we have the RB duo, Goku, Kaiser, Cole, Gigi Baba, who has picked up a mechanical issue. Has been crashing a lot, so that kind of explains why they've done that. Rasek, Monas, Master, Alpine. Then we have Tess here. Honestly, if I was Mercedes right now, I would be worried because they've already had 3 punctures so far in 3 races. Could they actually be willing to put Petrov here? That's early. Soft tire. Okay, so Petrov is going to stop again, most likely. I thought we were going to do a hard to medium 1 stop there for Petrov, but they've talked better of it, and Petrov does come out here in 10th place. Does have a decent tire advantage over the next 4-5 cars here. Kaiser is going to be a tough nut to crack. Floof's going to be a tough nut to crack. I don't know if I like that one. I don't think that is the move that Mercedes wanted there for Petrov. As Max now comes in, Max might actually do what I wanted to see Mercedes do, which is, you know, medium to hard, or in that case, hard to medium. But they too does pick a soft tire here. Love and Inferno Trap are the only ones that kind of trying to do the one stop. We'll have to see if that works out for them. But Koku right now, up into 3rd. Can fight Cosby for 2nd. Some gaps are starting to form, but let's face it, Floof right now, pretty dominant position. I think in theory, if Kaiser just goes full conserve, it could survive till the end. I don't think we're going to see that. There are some gaps starting to form. There's also 1 DRS train here. A little bit further down the road. Led by Max here, who... Honestly, Max and Petrov could still make something happen. It's just a rough situation to be in. Honestly. I don't know how they're going to make something happen. I'm actually a Floof wingman. By fighting Ty, I'm giving Floof a bigger gap. You're not wrong, Cosby. You are helping him out there. We see a medium there for the McLaren. They can go till the end on that. Baba, 30 laps on a soft tire might be a little bit too much to ask, but for the McLaren of Cole, going till the end is actually viable. We have already seen someone stick on the medium tires for, well, almost 35 laps here, which was Max. So, yeah. I think Cole might have done a good move here, as Baba now has a mechanical failure that is evolved into a major one. Not a good start to the season for the rookie. Goku now is getting left behind. The tire difference is just too much. Onas comes out to medium. Mourinho comes out on medium. They're going to stay on those tires till the end here. But yeah, undercutting is kind of going to be the name of the game from here on out. We'll have to see if Monas can keep... Well, if Trap can keep Monas at bay with the damage. Can Petrov and Maxi actually make it till the end on those soft tires? Petrov has done 10 laps. Lost 15%. If they keep it up and lose tire at the... It'd still be fine even if they go down at the same rate they have. It would be close, but going till the end of these tires is doable. While the top 3 all need to pit again. Max, Petrov and Kaiser here might try and just survive till the end, as Rasek now goes to a soft tire. Cosby now comes in. Did you just go to a medium? Or is that a hard? You went to a hard tire now? Goku soft tire. Cosby, 5th place. Hard tire. Can push aggressively. But they have elected to put you on a hard tire. And if we look at the compound performance here, a hard tire is 3/10 lower than a medium and 6/10 lower than a soft. And as you can see, a competitive performance for a soft tire around here is 35 to 61 laps. There's barely any degradation. It's going to take 20 laps for a fresh soft to become as bad as a fresh hard. I don't know how I want to... I don't know what the RB pit crew is thinking. But the difference to the soft here could be enough that you can catch them. But even then, it's like, it's 20 laps remaining. Why not just give me a soft? I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, Cosby. I'm appalled at the decisions that your pit crew has, your pit wall has decided on here. Floof does have to come in and pit, which is what I said. They do at least give him a soft tire. At least Floof is given the benefit of having a fresh soft here to fight till the end. Does also beat his teammate out here, and it's now 7.5 seconds off the lead with 30% better tires. I'd say that is good enough here that Floof should be able to secure the win here, and potentially could actually drag Cosby along to give Red Bull a fighting chance of 1-2. 20 laps still remaining. A lot that can still go on here. Kaiser, Max, Petrov, Floof, Cosby, Alpine, Goku, Cole, Master, and then we have Living Duck ahead of Tazza here. Gonna be an interesting end to this one, I think. Just give me 2 seconds. I need to change my headset battery. I am back. Apologies. Yeah, Max and Petrov are kind of fighting, and that is giving Floof a chance to catch up. Giving Cosby a chance to catch up and get involved. And potentially, we could also see Goku getting involved. Master now is also getting close to... They need to pitch the RB here. Master could pick up another puncture here if things go on as they are right now. And that would be a bit of a problem. Question here, is Cosby going to be stable enough following Floof, or are you actually going to take out your teammate? That is Floof's problem, right? Master actually does come into the pit lane here. Gets a fresh soft, but going to be a bit of work here to be done to get back into the points. They are a good 15 seconds, well, not even that, 18, 19 seconds off a point scoring position. Those fresh softs are going to help, and Ted's going to need to pit again, Duck's going to need to pit again. So some cars aren't just going to get out of the way voluntarily. But that is still some work that needs to be done. As Floof now is getting into the fight for the podium, fighting Max. Max is not giving up, however. But Floof does get the attack, well, does get the move done, and Cosby with 20% tire advantage should be able to get the move done on Sauber as well. Don't question yourself, Cosby. In the end of the race, you will have a massive advantage. I think Cosby will have somewhat of an advantage of everyone but his teammate, and it is still quite a long way to go here, 15 laps. So it might not be the worst choice ever, to be fair. We shall see, though. Tess is still staying out, and we could see another Mercedes masterpiece where they just don't pit their driver. Tess finally comes to the pits here with 12 laps to go. But once Tessa, they were nice enough to pit you before you got a puncture, but late enough that you are kind of out of this anyways. Progress, I guess. Not the progress you were looking for, but the progress you were given. 30 seconds now to get back to the points. Can you make that work? 30 seconds in 11 laps. It's going to be probably a little bit too tough of an ask here. Kloof has also already broken free in first. Cosby up into second now. I don't think Kais is going to be able to follow you, unfortunately for him. And with that, we could see the Red Bulls here set themselves up for a 1-2 finish. That is exactly here what is going on.
Oh no, that's a slow pit stop.
Pit stop issue for the Duck. Kaiser, Petrov, and Max are going to be fighting for that last podium slot. There's no way around it. But apart from that, there isn't really much of fighting going on. It is Cole versus Alpine for 7th. Cosby could beat Floofy just purely due to the fact that Floof will push those softs a little bit too hard. But still remains to be seen here. Floof could always also put him in the Wall of Champions at any given time. Also, not been here before, so it's fun to return around this adventure. But if you want to join in the future, we kind of do the sign-ups on Discord. Probably going to be a couple of weeks till next event, though. But the rules change fairly often. We're doing a bit of a random one this time around. It's pretty fun, Kevin. Who's winning? The champ? Last time's champ was the car that we are currently seeing in 11th. Shaolin Master. With the Alpines being the constructor champions. We also have a 2-time champion in Petrov here. So we do actually have a decent amount of champions as it stands. I wish I could manage Red Bull and just press overtake aggression low. Never defend. There's still a lot that could happen in these last 7 laps. The question is just, if we get a safety car, are you guys going to pit and put yourselves in trouble with a 1-2? With a double pit stop. The gap you have should be good enough, but like, if you get a... You can still get screwed over, if you're unfortunate. Isa Max. Goku now getting into this mix. Alpine, Cole, and Onas here fighting over 7th. Are they going to catch up to 10th by the end of this? Is the question. Tess is moving upwards in the world, 30-5. It's quicker than a lot of the other cars around here. Master is actually quicker, but that is with DRS, I believe. So with that in mind, you are moving upwards. But everyone else is also going full send. So it's going to be a little bit tough. Honestly, it's amazing how Tess and Petra are still in Mercedes Season 4. True. I have given them a little bit of benefit of doubt since they won constructors together before. So I kind of did put them together due to that this time around. Welcome back, David. Yeah, 5 laps to go here. And I'm going to speed it up a little bit because I'll be talking a little bit about re-rolls. Oh! Yellow flag. Max has picked up damage. Max here, the current... Well, is he leading?
That's a pretty big impact there. And all it can
One of the
take is
big rookies of Season 1 has met the wall here. And that is a tad unfortunate. That is half the wing missing. So that sucks for Max because when they pit, they're going to be out of the points. And it has also given Monas, Cole, and Alpine here a chance to get involved in the fight, really, for the final podium slot. The question is now, is Max gonna hold up Petrov and Goku and allow Kaiser to get away? By the looks of it, I think the answer is gonna be no. Canada has some corners, but not enough clearly here that Max will be getting in trouble. I would assume they're just gonna jump in the pits. They do. And that frees Petrov and Goku to try and chase down Kaiser here. Soft tires awaiting. A fresh wing is awaiting. But yeah, that basically pushes Max out of the fight for points this race. Just 3 laps to go here. It's going to be a very tough ask to close down 9 seconds, 10 seconds here. With fresh tires, of course. I still think it's going to be a little bit too much to ask here. Could potentially make it happen here because we could see some squabbling. We've seen squabbling change championship fights before. It could happen again here, for sure. 3 laps to go. 1-2 for the Red Bulls. Then we have Kaiser, Goku, Petrov, Cole, Onas, Alpine, Master, and Mourinho currently finishing off the points. Rasek is still looking to get involved, however. And we could still see some people run out of time by the end of this, I think. Goku run out. Up into the podium spots here. Hello, Vader. How can you join as a driver? We do it through my Discord, Vader. So I announce when applications are open. You can find an invite to Discord in the description. But yeah, it's basically Discord organized, so to speak. And if you want to join, you are going to have to do it through the Discord, unfortunately. Final lap here. Cosby and Floof are leading the way. Kaiser is currently in 3rd, ahead of Goku, ahead of Petrov, but Petrov is not going to be happy with just staying in 5th. Pushes Goku a little bit off the track here, gets up into 4th. Could we see some mayhem here with the Red Bulls before the end of this? That is almost getting shuffled off the track right there. Onas is also running very, very close to Alpine here. Are we gonna see any more fights? Or was that it? Hello, Razak. Osby versus Floof. I think Cosby has this on virtue of the hard tires. Maybe wasn't as terrible of a choice in the long run. And it does seem like that is sorted. We are interested though in seeing if there is going to be any fights further down the road here. As Petrov is lining up an attack on Kaiser. But Kaiser is defending it pretty well here. Goku has fallen out of DRS and is no longer part of this. What can Petrov do now? Up to the line. Not enough. Kaiser takes the podium. Petrov 4th. Goku 5th. Monas here. That was close between Alpine, Monas, and Cole. Can Master get it? No. Mourinho and Master finish off the points there. Rasek ends up 11th. Max with the crash here falls down to 12th. It's faster lap, however, which will not count purely just due to the fact that they finished outside of the points. Who's leading the championship at the moment? We shall take a quick look. Hello, Rasek, how you doing? Another W for the Bulls? Yes. Hello, Kaiser. I won a race and the 1-2. Cosby being very, very happy here. Shame that Floof didn't win because Floof's picture is just amazing to look at, no matter how you look at it. Onase improved 10 places again in points, which is not bad. And with that, the drivers now. Floof is actually leading, and we all get to gaze at his beautiful, beautiful face. I still can't get over the fact that the game gave this to him. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It is what we love to see. So we currently have Red Bulls, both on 44 points. Floof and Cosby. And we have Max, our previous leader, at 40 points. They dropped down due to damage. We'll probably still have retained the lead if not for that. And we have Kaiser, who's moved up to 4th. Kyle in 5th. I hate Alpine in 6th. Hotel in 7th. Rasek in 8th. Goku in 9th. And Bowling in 10th here. It is in fact reroll time, but we'll be doing that through Discord. I'll basically poke everyone get your responses, and I'll either re-roll at the start of the stream tomorrow, or I'll do the re-rolls basically tomorrow morning for stream. We'll see. I think there's a lot of people who are part of this that isn't here right now. But yeah, we will allow for re-rolls, and I'll be posting in the Discord. So all of you who are interested in your re-rolls, we'll get that set up before tomorrow. But yeah, unfortunately, Living Duck and GT Baba have yet to score points. Last time's champion has only scored 1 point so far. That is a little bit unfortunate. And Kieran has been in position to potentially win 2 races before he has been crashed out. So is he going to reroll or not? We'll have to wait and see. In your case, Taz, you are currently primed, if you wish, to have 3 reroll opportunities. So some of you will get some good chances here to make better drivers if you want. But yeah, I'll be doing, as I mentioned, probably that to start tomorrow's stream, where we will be doing the last 4 races and the re-rolls. If we do them live or not remains to be seen. Rebel then in leader constructors out of Sauber. I guess we're having a fight between those 2 primarily. And then third place is a close fight between Ferrari, Williams, and Alpine, while RB and McLaren isn't that far behind. But yeah, that was it for the first half of the season. We got through this pretty quickly this time around, which I'm honestly happy with because I need to get something done before quali. And, well, the board hates me because we are retiring every race, but that is fine. Thank you all for watching. Hope you had fun. I did. And I hope to see you tomorrow. I'm a little bit unsure exactly when the stream starts tomorrow. Let me just see if I remember correctly when the race begins. Because I don't want to miss the race. Let's be honest. I would like to avoid missing the F1 race in Bahrain tomorrow at 5. I don't know. Basically, a race starts tomorrow at 20 minutes. Well, it would have been going for 20 minutes already if it was today. We might do it after the race tomorrow. I'm a little bit undecided, but I'll think about it and figure it out. I did it before the race or after the race. I'm going to do it during the race, Cosby. No, I'm currently leaning towards doing it after the race, but I'll figure it out for tomorrow. And then we'll see what we do. For now, though, I'm going to jump on Discord. I'm going to poke everyone who was part of this with how many rerolls you have. Ask if you want to reroll, that sort of thing. But for now, the stream is going to end here. That's going to be a live stream. Well, I live in Norway, so it wouldn't be that terrible. It would start at 7 p.m. my time. I can understand that it doesn't work probably for your time zone, Kevin. And I'm sorry about that. But unfortunately, sometimes I do need to prioritize a time that works for me more so. I do work as a teacher. I can't go too late. But 7 to like 11 would work somewhat okay. But yeah, I'll think about it. Again, thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.